Hey everyone, welcome to Devil Podcast episode 155. We are back to talk about Pokemon TCG. Tonight's guest star, Stark,
Hello, welcome to
Start.
the Sanctum Startorum, also the Ice Gem.
Zombie,
Hey everybody, Zombie JLT1 of the Elite Four.
Merc,
The strongest trainer. Pocket Master P Merc. Yeah, what's up? What's up, pals?
and Josh.
Hello, greetings. I'm Josh. I got nothing special flex to do here. I've done the bit. I'm good.
Wouldn't you be our evolutions master?
Yeah,
Dude, I've been a gym leader at cons. I've been an Elite Four member at cons. I competed at tournaments
Or the ghost
across
trainer.
the spectrum. I
Right?
don't really feel like I got any flex to give.
Be the ghost trainer.
well, so guys, what got you into the TCG? Was it the cartoon, playing the game? When did you hear about the card game?
Oh, I can answer that pretty quick if nobody wants to step up.
Yeah.
Mine, how I got into it was pretty easy. My best friend, we grew up together. We're still friends to this day, which is a miracle by today's standards. But anyway, he had been saving up money to get the Lunar game. And then we kept getting the wrong information that this place was you could pre-order it here. There was a bookstore. We went in there and the bookstore was next to the dude bent you over on any product he had. He was a last resort kind of buy anything games from.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Pokemon cards, and we're like, fuck it, we're already stranded here for like an hour or so till we get picked back up. He bought 2 packs. He opened 2 first edition Zapdos, and then we later looked further into it and was like, oh, there's a whole trading card league, and then it just kind of spiraled out from there. There was no like big, oh, we were out looking for it. No, it just we just kind of fell into it. Like, it just released. Okay, well, that's nice. Not what we came here for, but that was nice.
Yeah. Who's next?
Did I get any packs? No, I was the broke friend who was like hanging out with him. The intention was not to be buying Pokemon cards or anything like that. We were supposed to be like hanging out, do a class project, and I forget what game we were playing, but it was something on PS2 or not PS2, PS1. So your guess is as good as mine, but that's how I fell into it.
Nice.
I was actually sitting there thinking about it, and I think my love and start to the Pokemon TCG was in marching band in high school, because on Fridays, when it's not football season, it's usually like a laid back, more atmospheric, where you're just, hanging out with your friends and stuff during that Friday class. And we would play different games, and the tuba section, which I was a part of, we played the Game Boy game, because I remember my first one being Pokemon Red, and so we naturally progressed to the card game, and we got pretty competitive. I remember my first deck being a Electric Zapdos and Hitmonchan fighting combination that was pretty lethal at the time. I never played competitively, but it I guess having the competition, spirit competition with my friends, helped me pull into that game.
FYI, Hitmonlee's better.
I love Hitmonlee. He's definitely my favorite out of the two. Yeah, he's cool. I would say for me, I was trying to think, like, did I play the card game first or did I watch the show first? Because I was obsessed with both of them. So I really don't know which one, if it was the cards first or the show. I don't remember. But yeah, I was obsessed with the games. I had the VHS tapes, the show. And yeah, I had Pokemon Blue because my favorite color was blue when I was little. So now it would be red, but back then everything was blue. Blue Power Ranger, blue everything. But yeah, I honestly don't remember which one came first, but I loved it. I was obsessed with it. The KB toys in the mall. I remember me and my little sister, we'd fight over the card packs, and she don't give a crap about Pokemon. it was just the opening the packs what she cared about. So we'd kind of fight over who got to open this one, or she got, I don't know, she got Poliwhirl. I was jealous, you know. It's just like I just remember those memories where I was like, I wanted that one. And I think she wound up giving them to me anyway. So you know, now she just gets me plushies when she goes to Walmart or something. So um, but now I need to make a video of all the cards I have, because I have at least 10 binders just full of Pokemon, not to mention, you know, Digimon, all the other stuff I got. But
Nice.
but yeah, it's so many. I'm gonna have to make a video. There's so much. But yeah, I was obsessed with the cards. I don't still collect them, just because, not just the scalpers and all that, but just because it's just so, like, I don't know, it's just so different of a hobby nowadays. I know one person once said it was a rich man's hobby, because
Yeah.
it's just you hardly kids can even get them now, not just with the scalpers, but then it's just they're selling them so pricey, and you'll be lucky if they're not all sold out, you know, like at a Walmart or somewhere. And I would like to have the 30th anniversary set that's coming out, or out now, because I missed the 25th anniversary. But yeah, it's just so much to buy. So yeah, it's just I'd love to have it all, you know.
Good deal.
You're speaking to the crier here. I mean, honestly.
Right.
But I'm always on the lookout for like Vince or somebody. I'm like, you know, send them pictures, be like, you're interested in these? Because I know it could be kind of hard for y'all's area, because I'm in a smaller area, so they won't be as, you know, sold out. But yes,
We
it's just
don't
so
have as
different.
many scalpers here, Merc says.
Yeah, right. I mean, yes,
We
such
can
a smaller
actually
area.
leisurely stroll and not worry about the guy who's sleeping in his car for 3 days.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Or
Camping
waiting
out.
outside.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Pokemon
And
Master.
talking
Sorry.
about it up on, what is it, on Instagram, about how he just got this amazing deal and he's gonna make $80
Yup.
something dollars a pack.
Oh, yeah.
Although I will say I am still waiting for the day I go to my local Costco and I see adult men fighting over the pallets of the new cards that just came in. I really want to see that. I don't follow TikTok or anything, but I have seen those clips and I'm like, man, I hope that happens when I go. It ain't gonna be me fighting, that's for damn sure. But
It
Right.
is so hard to avoid those clips because it's like it just
Yeah.
appears randomly in your
I,
feeds. It's
I,
like,
I do agree with you
yes,
though. It is like equally tough to watch, because you're like, this is sad, but then also it's very
mm-hmm,
amusing because it's grown
yes,
ass men doing, yeah. Or like the kid in the background that's like, can I have one? And they're just, you know, grown ass men. So yeah, it's pretty sad, but also hilarious. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
it's like
Uh,
a train wreck. You
yeah.
know it's wrong, but you
Now
can't look away.
Uh,
I'll be the counter element to all of this because out of all the card games that I collected and played, Pokemon was not one of them.
hmm.
I was too absorbed with the video games
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the anime itself that I collected the cards as just like a casual thing, but
Yeah. That's me too.
it wasn't a card game that I was really, really dedicated to. Not like
Yeah.
first Digimon card game, not like Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
which I'm still semi-dedicated to. Um, even the harder to learn games at the time, like the original Dragon Ball Z card game or that
Yeah.
notorious Star Wars card game that you
Hmm.
bought exclusively at KB Toys. I do
Mm.
remember, yeah, the fandom at that time, it was tricky to get card
Mm-hmm.
packs, but it wasn't impossible like it is nowadays.
Mm.
And that was when the first couple of series were out. I think I got the booster, the starter deck. So of course,
Mm.
naturally, I have the factory sealed Machamp in
Mm.
that. Um, and then I've got my holo foils still, and of course, y'all heard those stories about you got to get the holographic Charizard first
Mm.
edition. That's the
Yeah.
God card.
Yeah.
Um, so I was there when the boom was happening, but I wasn't investing like I was with other card games. I
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
think right around the time that the Team Rocket booster series happened is kind of when I stopped buying Pokemon cards in general, just because I was just too addicted to the video games. And Yu-Gi-Oh was way more of a interest in terms of card games
Mm.
than Pokemon. I played Magic the Gathering more than I played Pokemon, but
Ah.
I still have my original card collection. I did give like a good chunk of it to a friend of mine because their kid was getting into the hobby, and at that time, knowing what the whole difficulty with trying to get cards was I gave him a whole bunch of common, Series 1 boosters just to kind of build his collection. And right around the time that I started playing Pokemon Go on my phone is when they released the Go series. Now, I do have a majority of the cards from that set, including the Premier Ball card holder that comes with it, the Dragonite card. And then Vince actually sent me a box set, which I have still, and those trick or treat grab bags, which that on occasion they can be tricky to find, but I've had luck getting those, and I still have to send out a set to Josh and his brother on that. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a dedicated TCG collector as I am a video game collector.
Yeah, that was me too. Because I never had anybody to play the card game with. That was one thing. But yeah, I got more enjoyment out of just collecting them and looking at all the pictures than I did playing the game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think
then I
that
played
was
the game all
also
the time.
I think that was also part of it, is that the Pokemon TCG, at least at that time, seemed to be more reserved for younger kids than me, who was in high school going on to college at that time. Magic the Gathering was still popular for everyone's age group.
Very.
Yu-Gi-Oh was becoming popular for everyone's age group, even though it was mostly by, high schoolers and anime fans and adults. But Pokemon seemed to be more of like the kiddie intro to TCGs game, at least from what I was observing in my neighborhood and in my kid brother's school, who the kids he knew were fanatical about getting those cards, and he only collected them just, because that was the thing to do. He's not a Pokemon enthusiast at all whatsoever, and he even told me that. Is like, I only ask mom for cards just so I can say I have some. So
or you had the kids at school trying to trade the Japanese ones, or they're just showing them off to everybody.
yes, which is interesting that you mentioned that, P Merc, because I remember the first Japanese card that I got was actually from a Yoshi's restaurant.
Oh,
it came with my rice bowl, and it's a Japanese Haunter, and I still have that card.
that's cool.
Nice.
You're my favorite.
I still have all the promos because, of course, we went to go see the movie. So Ancient Mew, Mewtwo, the Entei card, I still have those. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm diehard or enthusiastic.
I love that you got a Haunter. That's my favorite. I got
He's my favorite of the trio.
I got the Kamen Rider Haunter right now for Starky Plug.
Hunter.
No, Zombie brought up a good point. He brought up the whole, being you can't be casual nowadays like you could back then.
No.
At all. It's like any cards you get, it's like he said, "Oh, I have a extra set that Josh's brother were interested in. I just happened to get while I was building my own." It's like you have to literally, if you're casual, know somebody who's like, "Here, you want my extra?"
Well, you usually get a lot of bulk from when you buy a booster box, or now ETBs. But I mean, back then it was just the booster box, and then you have
go anywhere
occasionally
and you could get some.
Correct. So for me, like, I remember there was I was watching a cartoon. I remember my first one I got was I got the Pokemon Yellow with the Game Boy Pikachu edition set, like when I turned 18, that game crazy. And I had, that's how I started it. But I had started watching the cartoon before that. And I remember, because remember, the cards released back then, like, what was it? I think January 9th of 1999. So there was a local game shop in one of our malls that I went to, and we would always go to the game shops looking for new role-playing games, new any kind of tabletop stuff, board games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Hey, we're gonna have we're taking pre-orders for some of the new Pokemon stuff." I was like, "Cool, I want to check it out." So I ended up pre-ordering like the actual 5 decks, that the theme decks that they had released. I think they were like $12 at the time.
Yeah, that sounds about right. $10-12.
I think they were $10, honestly, that I think about it. I was like, it just seems so cheap back then, because you were getting 60 cards. You got like, one special foil character in it.
Mm.
The
And
mat, the counters.
well, no, this is way before that. It was just a brown box that said Pokemon on it, or like khaki color. It said Pokemon on it, and they had like you had each of the, or it might have been white. It's been so long, but you had whatever the theme Pokemon was in the front. You could see it
Yeah.
in the window, and that's what I got first. And I remember like these are cool. I think we tried to play it. I didn't have any of my friends that were playing at the time, and then I remember going and like finding that they had the basic set out. I worked to get a set of that, but I didn't get first edition. It was later on that I was able to, probably like my senior year, I was able to complete like basic, jungle, basic 2 or fossil, one of the two.
Fossil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those first 3. And then I started working on basic 2, and then Team Rocket came out when I was working at Game Crazy. But it was just fun to collect. And then I had my quite a few of my friends were actually collecting it. We would play it, they would play it. My buddy Jonathan was actually collecting a lot of the Japanese stuff. So whenever we would go to tournaments or go to these events that we had here, they would have, you could either do the Game Boy tournaments, play against somebody that way, or you could do the card tournaments. And then they had vendors there to sell Pokemon cards and stuff,
Yeah.
which was cool.
I was
Different.
gonna. Oh, sorry about that. I was just gonna interject real quick. Was this before or after your dad had had his comic book store?
Oh, this is way after. My dad had
Oh, okay.
his comic book store in 92 to 93.
Oh,
man.
okay. Because I was gonna ask if that was something that he might have ordered, or if that would have been.
It would have
something
been.
to get
It would have been.
Yeah.
But like back then, we were getting like, I remember for Magic the Gathering, Ice Age and Arabian Nights. I remember busting a box for both of those.
Mhm.
You still had the theme decks, but man, those boxes were what we were coveted
Yeah,
Mhm.
for
for
Magic.
sure.
And then we'd have cards that we would sell in the shop, and then we'd have booster boxes and stuff that people can either buy, or we had it to where they could buy single packs. That was a long time ago. I was probably 11, 12 at the time.
I had a
Yeah.
little bit of the Magic cards, but I played that online. Like I know the Magic duels. I played that. It's fun and kind of easy to learn. But yeah, I only had a little bit of those cards, and I wasn't like super into it like some people I knew. Yeah.
It
But
was a
it's
big
cool.
thing. It was a really big thing
Yeah.
in high school. Actually, middle
Like the
school and high
tournaments.
school. And then when Pokemon came in, there was a subsect of kids that were, or teens that were playing that, but it was mainly like younger kids at the time.
Yeah.
Or there's a comic book store that's close to me, and they had like Magic tournaments where people could go up there and do it. Yeah, I never saw any, but I knew they did it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And see, going back to something y'all were talking about, I do feel like Pokemon TCG today has kind of backed themselves into a hole, kind of like how Yu-Gi-Oh has, because you go to a tournament and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the same deck. Just how can I get to my cards faster than yours? When they started
Meta.
doing, yeah, exactly. When they started doing like VMAXs and stuff like this in Pokemon, I feel like they took away what made the original card game so good,
Yeah.
because you didn't have to have the best monsters. It's just how can you outmaneuver your opponent, right? And
Right.
so like I feel like they have backed themselves into, now I have to have these big cards, these VMAX
Yeah.
cards, this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's killed the playability for a lot of people, casual, as we were talking about earlier. Because going back to what Vince was saying, you could pick up a structure deck and build upon that and be good for a while,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was
That's
a
how it
deck,
was with.
there was a deck that my partner in crime for the tournament scene. We had several that were like for multiple sets. We didn't have to change anything when we were doing the tournament card scene. It was like Ancient Mew, where it was basically Aerodactyl, the promo Mew at the time, which was Rainbow Mew back then, before Rainbow was a thing. You could make decks that would last for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of went away when Toys R Us did away with their Pokemon League, where you could go
Yeah.
hang out, play the game, mainly for the card game. That was its main drive. But people would bring up their Game Boys, and we, basic talk shop type of thing. But it's that fact there. It was like you could still go away for a long time, come back with decks you had, still be able to play. Nowadays with the VMAX, gigantic, whatever gimmick they want to add, it's like, okay, we picked these decks we knew and we just amplified it times 10 that anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a bunch of new rules. If you knew it before, you have no idea what you're doing anymore.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right.
I agree with Start where like I like when it was simpler. People say that about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's more complicated now, but yeah, I liked when Pokemon was more simpler. Or a good way to do it, Stark, is I really like how the TCG Pocket does, the mobile game.
Yes.
It's so simple, like anybody can learn it. And I would look at my cards compared to the game because all the games are like actual, pictures, they're actual cards in real life that they are in the mobile game. And I'll compare them to the app, and the app has like less HP, less attack. They don't have such a big description. You know how Yu-Gi-Oh description is just like a paragraph long. It's just like they're so much more simplified that like anybody can play it, but it makes it easier and more like balanced because it's not like crazy,
But
And I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah.
it is a good start. I feel like that does go back to bases. But if you're playing with people online though, for Pokemon Pocket, there is a meta. There was a bad meta when it first started. You had to have 3 Mewtwo's and what was it? There was a ghost Pokemon who kept feeding Mewtwo energy. So Mewtwo, when he attacks, loses two of his energies, and then the ghost Pokemon gave him 2 more, so he was good to go for that next round. So there was, even at the beginning of Pokemon Pocket, a meta when fighting other people, and people got mad about it and quit playing for a while. So it's almost like they kind of shot themselves in the foot. But then they started releasing more packs, and the meta kind of changed a little bit, but everyone has access to it. Unlike,
I noticed people would keep doing that same strategy. Like they'll never use the new ones, and then there's ones that keep making new decks when the new packs come out. So they'll keep having new strategies. Yeah. It's an interesting way to do it.
Part of the problem you're bringing up, Merc, is with how fast the internet is and how accessible it is.
Yeah.
Most people will wait for XYZ people to think outside the box and destroy the next thing and just copy it. They won't try to necessarily think of a strategy of their own.
Because there are some pretty broken strategies. Yeah.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is out of any card game I've ever played is the most notorious for it. Like don't get me wrong, I play that game casually. How I got into that was with my brother Monkey. He was a little guy that was his TCG he came to. So it was like, okay, I'll play that. I'll help endorse that a bit.
Yeah.
But it's very much, it plays pretty much any trading card game, is once somebody else figures out this like unbeatable strategy until they retcon it with some other gimmick, or somebody thinks it outside the box because so many people are doing the same cookie cutter shit. Use my language there.
Or something gets banned.
That's the thing. Somebody like does it, either finds a way to beat it, or it's destroying the game and it gets recognized by the publisher, creator, take your pick there, and they're like, we got to tune this. This is gonna, end of the day, affect our wallet.
Let me show you this real quick. So this is Pokemon Pocket. Here's the Mewtwo card. It says side drive, 150 attack. Discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. So there is a punishment for using this attack, right? You lose 2. You need 4 to make the attack. So if you get Gardevoir right off the bat, Psy Shadow, during your turn, you may take a psychic energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon in the active spot. So you're constantly feeding Mewtwo that energy to wipe out anyone on the field. And the thing about Pokemon Pocket that they need to fix, and I've learned this very early on in the game, you're always guaranteed a monster.
Yeah.
In the TCG, you take a mulligan and someone gets to draw a card, right?
Yeah.
But here, you're always guaranteed that Mewtwo, that Gardevoir, or whatever. And so you've screwed the pooch.
Yeah.
They've lowered lowered the risk and reward,
Yes.
which is probably done in the idea
Yeah.
that kids are going to play this, but
because you
we
do
have
automatically
grown-ups
lose.
that come in and decide to say, "Hey, no,
Yeah.
this isn't for kids.
Mhm.
This is for
if you don't
me."
like if you don't have one, you automatically lose. But yeah, it is crazy to just like start with an EX card or something and just be already super powerful. You know?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they did it again with a Celebi deck where there is a Serpentine card that allows every energy to count as two energies. And what Celebi does is for every energy attached to her, you flip a coin. And so if you have 5 energies, that's 10 coins that gets flipped for
Yeah.
50 damage per coin. And that keeps going up and up and up until
Yeah.
you've wiped out everything.
That's one of my favorites to do with the Goldango.
Yeah.
You can just keep adding more to it, but it can just do 300, 400, 500 damage at one point. So just how many energies you have, and
Yeah.
you just keep it going. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I will say, give credit to Pokemon Company for one thing. When they do their little try to manufacture a overhaul retcon to balance the game out and try to keep it player based on equal footing, they don't necessarily flop as hard as some of the other card games. Like, for example, I lost count how many Yu-Gi-Ohs tried to do with like their gimmicks that like, well, we'll keep it around. People will just not use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the
How's
different
that a
forms
smart
of
business
summoning and stuff.
decision?
Yeah.
And it's funny because you think that these new strategies they're going to implement are going to be fun, are going to be worth the investment, and sometimes they're not. And they end up breaking your bank more than if you just stuck to what you were normally running and play the game that way.
Yeah.
I know that for at least for when I was in the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament scene, you could still do the same thing that was described earlier. You could buy a starter deck, you can buy a booster box or a theme deck, structure deck, and that would be good to go. And then all of a sudden, when these certain strategies started gaining traction, then that was the thing to start investing in and doing, like the Yada lock until that got banned. You know, got to have Yatagarasu and the Chaos Black Emperor Dragon or whatever it is, because I haven't ran mine in forever.
Oh, dude. One of the things I thought was hilarious, and this was when Monkey was little, still real in the game. I was working. I was, buying cards, all that and stuff. We went to a random card shop. We just happened to be out eating with our family, and we'd finished early, so we just walked over to this card shop. Find out they're trying to pass off. I think it was the original Envoy of the beginning and the end cards that were
That's the one.
before they ever freaking got to be used automatically on the ban list. It was like, what the hell? It's
Well,
like, excuse me?
that happened to Victory Dragon, Shonen Jump, and as soon as you peeled that card off, by the way, it's banned. Like, why did you make it?
Yeah,
right.
you can have it, but
The
it's
problem
banned.
was, the problem, like I said, is that the thought was not there to be aware. We're going by older standards. Like when we were coming up, the internet wasn't as readily available. It wasn't, oh, you could just get on, your parents could use the phone, all this. No, we had the whole, you got on the internet, you got on for a set amount of time if you only had the one phone line going into your house. So it wasn't like you could just stay online 24/7. You know what I mean? So you had to, if your parents or you got on the internet, you went with a purpose to do these few things and then get off if you're expecting a call or something. You weren't just sitting there casually going, I wonder if I can run, who's running these decks? Let's go look at that. And while I'm at it, I'm going to shop for a new deck box. No, it was like you were on a mission, right?
Right. Now, for those of you who, sorry, Stark, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about it. Like we didn't have the internet. We used our friends as a guinea pig for tournaments.
Yep.
That's another lost art, is that playtesting of building a deck, testing it out. Like, I don't know if you guys play the card game Weiss Schwartz.
No.
Really fun,
No,
but expensive.
never.
Kind of an expensive game.
Mm.
It's like not. You can build budget decks, but if you're building budget, you're usually doing more casual. But I was supposed to do a tournament. My eyes like suddenly went really bad. Like my prescription was like done. I could not read the super fine print. I was having to literally print out a giant piece of paper with a list of all my cards of what it says they can do because I could not read the fine print. And it was like, so we're playtesting, and I'm like going, I wonder if you could realistically playtest this with anybody else. No, you can't, because how many people are you going to find that are going to be like, let's play White Schwartz and not have an original deck? No, we went to the tournament. I walked the halls while Monkey and our friend played, and I saw like 90% the same, like 4 or 5 decks, depending on what anime set you were using in the tournament. It's like, God damn.
Everybody's min-maxing.
Exactly. Everybody's like, and I felt bad for like Monkey because he sat there, he built an original deck because when he was learning to play card games, that's what I taught him from my experience. You try to think out the box and build something new. Yes, it's cool to look at, what everyone else is doing, but unless you feel comfortable doing that, that's not what you should be doing. Unfortunately, overall, that's kind of gone. It's like, I forget which one of you mentioned it off the top of my head. The idea of anybody playing something different is gone. Everybody wants to have who can wave out their instant kill first.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want
And
they want the best type of deck that they can just instantly kill anybody for whatever game they're playing. It's never
exactly.
It's never about learning what works for you that plays with your style.
Yeah, it's not about being original. It's who can shell out the most for this card combination. I used to see that. I used to see that at the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament scenes, and I remember, oh, this was when Magic Ruler. Oops, sorry, Onyx. Magic Ruler was the newest set, and kids with their whining and crying and Mom, get this for me. If you don't love me kind of stuff. The parents would drop serious cash on those booster boxes, and if the kid didn't get that one card, he would just table flip and just not even be
and that was the
happy
thing
about it.
It has a community. I feel like it, as trading card communities changed, was used to be punished for trying to. That was like showing off that you had this super expensive deck, and you're like just like Jim or Brenda or whoever in the group in your local tournament scene play group, right? Like now it's like encouraged, and if they have a mulligan rule, if you can't get that in 2 hands, you automatically just take the loss. It's like, what happened to playing through?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know how many times I'd be playing Magic the Gathering and dealing with somebody like that.
Right.
And
like, I miss the days where your heart was in your deck. It's monsters that you like. It's a theme that you've put together. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, it may be spellcasters, it may be zombies. In Pokemon, it may be ice, it may be fire, it may be fighting. It's what you wanted, and there was a thrill going to tournament because I was big in the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. I had a Sea of Darkness deck, where all the monsters crawled under gravity and got you.
Nice.
And there's some people got shut out because of that, because they could not, how all my monsters are stopped, that he's going under them and hitting me. So the thrill of it was there was no meta. It was what is this person concocted? What group of cards has he put together, him or herself, that can possibly beat me? Instead of, I know this person has this, and this, so I've got to counter this, and this. That's a puzzle. That's not a card game. That's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the way you described it with Yu-Gi-Oh, like heart of the cards.
It's true.
Yeah. It's a cool way to look at it there. Yeah.
I mean, we were still saying that at the time, and even well into the years of Yu-Gi-Oh later, like some of us who have been playing since, the first boosters dropped, we were still saying, hard the cards, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there is
Okay, I feel guilty about you saying that now.
The,
You probably would not have been a good friend with me back then because I used to destroy people, not on purpose. They're like, Heart of the Cards guide me. It's like, okay, this is going to be a really tough lesson, so I guess I'm just going to be the asshole here that has to teach you. That doesn't work.
Well,
you're such a doubter.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a
Right.
downer. It was more of
Right.
just that, like, okay, I got to
There's always-
prepare you kids, 'cause I, at our apartment for a minute, I was mentoring kids that were like big into the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. I would rent the clubhouse and, when I could afford it and I had the time off from work, I would host the thing. It's
But
like,
think
okay,
about it,
guys,
though.
It's a
But
cool way
think,
to look at it, though. Yeah.
but think about
you
it.
get, I
Yeah.
get it. You're young, all this, but if you're going to go beyond our thing, you got to understand, no, what you see in cartoons doesn't always work. We wish it was. Damn, do I wish it was, but
Yeah,
no.
I
Well, hold
get
on.
that.
Let Matt go.
Sorry, you can't will a card to come to you. I understand that, but in a
Yeah.
tournament where everything's on the line, there is a thrill to draw that next card, hoping that it's that card that you need.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's that whole Maverick moment, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is
'Cause
cool, man.
I'll tell you one thing, the first time I built and ran my Exodia deck, that's exactly what I was waiting for.
Right.
Was that one body part. And
Right. That was a
man,
good
oh
feeling
man,
back
it
then.
was
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it was it was a freaking high when I did put them together.
Right.
And nothing as extravagant now because draw engines at that time weren't as fast as they are. But yeah, just being able to get all the 5 and I'm just like, boom, throw them all out there.
And you're like doing the anime, you're like Exodia, obliterate.
Yep. It was just one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
But
I finally got all 5.
there were ups and downs with, playing casually and playing with tournament scene. Like Stark said, there's that thrill of, with everything on the line, what's going to happen. And I can definitely say that the sportsmanship back then was definitely better.
Yeah.
And we even used to compliment each other on what's in their decks and how they played it, or like when I would play somebody and I'd either win or lose, I'd say, what would you have done differently if the roles were reversed? And just kind of talk about it like that. And there was more camaraderie with the tourney scene as well. And sometimes you'd even just throw out what you think might help your opponent or the person you just met that you're being buddies with. You're just like, here, maybe this might help you, and that's how you spent your Saturday or your Sunday or what have you. Of course, I ran into the occasional little punk here and there, and I had a Josh moment myself.
I have a moment now, huh?
Where I was playing against the kid, and I know he was cheating because he always drew his same card in his first 5 all the time. So even with the limit copy being 3, I'm like, the odds of that happening, I knew something was up, but I didn't call the refs or anything. I do remember
on it. You just handled it.
Yeah, I did. And I remember I told him, I said, by the way, if I really wanted to embarrass you, I would have done that already.
Yeah.
And I showed him I had the crush card Japanese card. And we were allowed to use Japanese cards in the tourney scene at that time. So I'm like, by the way, boom. And then I had the other virus cards, and I could have totally killed his deck right away if I wanted to, and he ran away crying. But with Pokemon, again, maybe it's the age demographic, but I guess compared to all the other games that I had seen being played and were a part of, that still seemed to be for the casual gamer. Nobody got violent. Nobody got arrogant or anything like that. Not with the other games I was in. And I remember as far as Pokemon cards and their themes and all that being concerned, there wasn't much filler. Like when they released something, it was typically quality.
Yes.
It was, useful.
Yeah.
Unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, which, hey, we're just gonna re-release the same card, and now you've got a black foil or
Yeah.
holographic stamp, and like there were just all these
Oh,
gimmicks
God,
with
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
that's the thing. That's open a whole nother can of worms. I looked into if you just wanted to collect the cards casually, like Vince with his sons, like we're just trying to master set this really hard,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it used to be a pretty simple. You got your common, you got your rares, uncommons. That was it, right? Maybe and promo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All you
promo,
really
yeah.
Promo, holographic.
Yeah.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh tried to change the rules in America a bit, where it's like, oh, now there's a secret one. So now
Yeah.
they're gonna come up with it. Now, if you look at it, it's like gold cards, illustration rares, rainbow, SIR. I'm like,
Ultra
oh my
rare.
god.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy. They're pulling a page out of Wizard with what they're
Yeah.
doing with Magic right now, and it's sad because that's where I was going to go with one of the questions is that who do you think did it better? Was it Wizards back in the day whenever they launched Pokemon here,
Wizards.
or the Pokemon Company? And we know that they had a third party distributor that was going through and making sure the product was hitting the stores. But now Pokemon Company has the de facto rights to do the distribution. So that way, hopefully we can get actually the cards on a regular basis, because I can't find anything anywhere. But back in the day, like I could always go find booster boxes.
Yep.
I could always find packs. They were everywhere.
Nowadays, if you find them, they're behind bulletproof glass. Like
Yeah. Right.
what buying video games at
It
Toys R
was.
Us was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think honestly, the hollow rare is a nightmare for collectors because you only get one in a pack. But then Magic, I've noticed, has marketed on that and said, "Oh, you want more? There's a pack dedicated to this. You're going to
Collector's
pay,
edition. Yeah, the
yeah,
collectors.
collector's editions. You're going to pay $40 for it. But guess what? You get all those hollow rares that you don't have for your master set. I hate that. I hate
Yeah.
that so bad.
Yu-Gi-Oh does that too with all the variations and
Yes.
booster
Yeah.
themes. Like I was when I could find them, I was buying the new Mesa Muertos set because I wanted that Dark Magician. I wanted that Magician of Black Chaos. That's my soul card for anybody out there who cares about that theory.
Nice.
That's my soul card. Always has been. So I try to get every variant of him that I possibly can. And every card being hollow, and then the card catalog being like 200, 300, 400 cards to get a complete set. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, what happened to a set being maybe 120 tops
or 160?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it wasn't that. I mean, and it's not even like you have the regular card, because like that's the problem with Magic right now with like the Turtle set and the Final Fantasy. It's like you have your regular card, then you have your foil edition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like
So-
I just want a set. I don't need to have all this extra stuff. But it's like, to get a complete set, you got to have all of it, and
Well,
they price you out of it.
And Yu-Gi-Oh has even done a pack where it's like the lettering is a different color. There's a blue lettering, a green lettering, a purple lettering. So if you want that, guess what? You're going to pay some more. But let me ask you this, Vince, and I've been meaning to talk to you about it. This new Marvel set that's come out for Magic, how many cards are in that set? Because I feel like there's 2,000, and that's ridiculous.
I haven't even looked.
Wow.
I haven't even looked, and I wouldn't doubt it, because Spider-Man didn't do as well. But like when we found out there was the Infinity Stone, everybody was trying to get that Infinity Stone.
Yes.
And I don't even know how many of the gems are in this Marvel Superheroes one right now.
Just one.
And so that means that we're going to have at least another 5 to have all set, to have all 7 stones. But I don't know.
So
Or
they've
6.
implemented the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet into Magic.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to have the 6 stones and the gauntlet to house it, I guess.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What could that possibly do?
Well, here's the problem with it.
Destroy,
And 'cause I had
destroy
a
the
friend
world.
You win the money. You win a
Destroy
lot of
everything.
money.
is part of that whole making one of one type card in Magic is with specifically on that Infinity something is they were trying to redo the big promotion they got with one guy finding the Lord of the Rings card and then
Yeah.
a
The
famous
One
celebrity
Ring.
paid stupid fucking money for it. And it's like
Serialized
strike it again.
cards. Serialized
We're
cards.
gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna we're gonna strike again because then everyone's gonna buy a bunch. And it's like it comes down to simple. If somebody's dumb enough to pay for it, we're gonna cash in on it.
Mm.
That's what it is. But as far as playing goes, I wanted to jump back to like an example there of the variant thing. Like I said, I play the White Sports card game when I can. Thing they do with it, yes, they have their varying price dynamics because that's how it's built. But they tend to print like two versions of a card. There's the obvious, this one you can play with. This is a nice one you want to keep cool. You can play with it, but it's a really nice art, foiled up, all that. It's the idea of collecting it. I respect that because they're not going, well, we have the super rare rainbow triple deluxe version, or, oh, you want the print to be blue? That was a production print, but we're going to act like we did it on purpose. So
Mhm.
we've created an artificial market now for varying colored prints.
Yes.
It's like, that's the other part of it is they're getting greedy, and that's part of
That's
the
all
problem.
it is. I mean, we've already seen Wizards and Hasbro destroy D&D right now. And they're on the verge of doing the same thing with Magic the Gathering. And to answer Stark's question about how many cards are in the Marvel superheroes, it is said to be 600 plus. So there's not even a set number
Really?
that's been listed.
Mm.
That's
Oh.
ridiculous.
Because this is
You
this
mean they
is what-
haven't had a quote unquote leak yet that like told you?
Well, see, I've been collecting them, and it goes to 400, or I guess 600 on the regular set. But then there's a side set that goes up to like 800 plus, and every single one of those cards has a parallel to them. So you have to double that number if you want to be a true collector.
Dang.
Oh, forget that nuts.
Yeah, right. That's too many.
Nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically we're trying to make Magic hold the company together.
Yes.
And
I mean,
see,
and
like that-
that's
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Magic crossing universes now is kind of where I was like, are you really reaching for ideas at this point? Because I didn't see any other card games doing that all of a sudden.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's a good opportunity to do. I mean, I've always wanted to have like other things inside Magic the Gathering besides just fantasy.
I like
Hell,
the Final Fantasy.
I would
cards
love
that you showed me.
a Guyver series, but that'll never happen. But you know.
Yeah, Guy would be crazy.
But there is this problem where it's all about greed. Yes, they know that they have the secret layers. They have all these special, like, hey, purchase this and you'll get 9 cards that make this cool image.
Mm.
And then they're only in this set. They're not in the main set. You look at Final Fantasy, like that had booster boxes. It had the
Yep.
ETBs. It had the special Chocobo edition one that like would guarantee you a Chocobo, but it wouldn't be one of the golden Chocobos that everybody was trying to grab. But I never picked up. I was never able to find any of the Chocobos other than the standard Wandering Chocobo for the Final Fantasy set. But of course, I wasn't buying the collector's edition stuff because it was going for $600.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right now,
I remember
it's going to hit 2,000 probably by the end of the year. As far as just trying to buy one of those collector's boxes.
I remember talking to you about
not
that.
okay. That's the kind of marketing that's just not okay.
Yeah.
It's like just deliberately going, we are manipulating the market. Nobody can call us on it.
But Pokemon's done it as well, in a sense.
They all do it.
Yeah, because
it's
I
basically
remember
who did it first got away with it. Okay, we can copy their formula.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Mm-hmm.
there was
now there's a branch of people who fucking are gonna mark up because they know there's gonna be kids, there's gonna be grown people that want those cards. They don't have any attachment to it. Let's go.
But even at the beginning of Pokemon, though, there was a side set that was like an island adventure that was at our local GameStop. I bought it on a whim, you're not going to use those cards. They're bad cards.
Are you talking about the Neo set that had like a little binder of its own?
Yes.
Hmm.
They're just there.
Yeah, that was
looks.
like a late what happened with that? It was a promotion in Japan that just randomly got picked up and brought over here as a filler to promote the first Johto region set.
Mm-hmm. But other than saying I have those, what would you necessarily need those for?
Well, they weren't.
Yeah.
If I remember right, that was like one of the only Umbreon cards. It was at the time. It's my memory that makes me have to dig in the memory what that was about. But more or less, yes, it was simply these are cool to look at.
Yeah.
Well,
There
it
was no
reminds
real.
me. It reminds me of the trick or treat, Halloween set. Like, I don't know anybody who actually runs those. It's just a quick. I have a feeling those were mostly for people who wanted to give out something that's not candy, which is perfect for
You're
me.
right.
Because I'd rather do that, and I'm sure kids today would appreciate, any kind of Pokemon card pack with how scalping's been lately.
And you
But
only get 30 cards in the set, so you're not having to worry about it. Like you
I
get
only
all of
got-
them if you get enough houses that actually had them.
I only
Yeah.
got one of those, and I showed Stark a while back. I think I showed you guys, but those are cool. But yeah, I was very disappointed. Other than the fact that I got the Haunter line, which I love all of them. And they're cool, but for the most part, they're reprints and just have the little Halloween sticker on it because you'll see a lot of the same cards on other ones. And then I was really disappointed by how many dupes that I got. So many of the same ones.
It's a very small set. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just way too many dupes. I was just like, wow, because the ones that are cool, they're cool, but I got way too many copies of these. I'm not going to use all these.
Well, they're not made to collect. Like they were saying. Like in 2024, I actually gave them out on Halloween. We were the
Never even thought of that.
Everyone liked our apartment that year in Halloween.
That'd be a cool gift.
They kept coming back, but normally the breakdown in that stupid Halloween set is 2 full sets and half a set. So if you go 50-50 with a friend, y'all are gonna walk away with a set.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trading. Yeah.
And they're only $20 too, and that's what was great about it. Was like you can give out Pokemon cards cheaper than it is to buy a booster box.
Yeah, they're a cool idea. I was just disappointed with how many of the same ones I got.
Yeah, it's a small set, but that's what you would expect though when you're with the odds. Though it's like, oh, there's 30 cards. Okay, that's
but it's in it, and it's more expensive to do the Pokemon stuff from McDonald's.
Oh, don't even get me started on those, man.
I never could get all those. I was getting my niece and my little sister to get them, and I still couldn't get them all.
Nope. Same here.
I'm assuming they're skipping this year, right?
McDonald's. I think so.
I don't think America's getting them. They did do them in Japan. People were doing something that was very frowned upon in Japanese culture, where they were they weren't even giving the food away. They were just piling it up by the trash can. So they were like, nope.
What's funny though, the one that I wanted was a Pikachu, and it was bent up because she played with it, and I was like, oh, it would be the one that's bent up.
The McDonald's one you said?
Yeah, because I didn't get a lot of them, but it's hard to complete all those when they give you the same one you already have, or you get a repeat.
You literally have to buy as many as you can.
Yeah,
and it's sad because it does take away from the kids.
Just be like, can I get this one? You feel like weird being a grown man. Be like, can I get this one? Not this one. Can I get toy number 5, please?
I remember seeing all those YouTubers that were making videos where they were driving up to the drive-through,
me too,
ordering like 20 Happy Meals, and a lot of the comments would be like, "So what did you do with the food? What did you do?" Like I think I saw maybe one video where it was still kind of scummy that he bought up so many Happy Meals and such, but he at least gave the food away to like homeless people.
Exactly. That's what you should do,
So
or give like the cards away to some kids that you don't need one.
So that was admirable, but it's anything Pokemon is just such a cash grab now.
And
it's
rich
not
mentality.
it's not even about the passion anymore, because everyone here either had a passion for any combination of any Pokemon thing out there, games, anime, card game, what have you.
All of
Now,
it.
even things like the limited edition Oreos with the Mew
Yeah.
cookie.
Did you see people were selling those on eBay, like selling the Mew Oreo? That's
Yeah.
great. That's crazy.
I
Or all
can't,
the
or
stuff, the
this,
promotional stuff for Target.
yeah,
Yes.
That
that
happens.
stuff too.
Stealing the promos.
Yep, stealing promos, stealing the actual pegboards off of the wall, or off the the
It-
stands.
And I get it if you want to display them or whatever, like you have a collection, you don't open them up, but like I ate all those.
Yeah.
The last
here-
Pokemon thing I bought food wise was the Hershey Kisses. There was an excitement to see who was under that Hershey kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta eat them all.
Yeah, eat them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, right.
Or like when you could go to
Yeah.
Walmart and get the Pokemon cereal, just to
Yeah.
try it, see what
I
that
ate
was
those
all
so
about.
much because they were kind of like the Crunch
Pokemon
Berries.
Pop-Tarts. Yeah.
But then like they were just Pokemon. And I got those all the time from the dollar store, and I was sad when they stopped selling those.
Or the gummies, the Pokemon gummies.
Yeah. That's another
Mhm.
one.
But
I
see,
mean,
sorry, I was going to say something real quick. Japan has it on lockdown because even with Yu-Gi-Oh, there's like a body wash where you can get a rare like Blue Eyes White
Really?
Dragon card,
What?
and I'm like, just with body wash, like why can't
That's
we do
crazy.
that something like that here?
Yeah, right.
Because
Never
some
seen that.
people at tournaments need body wash. So
I was gonna say.
Yeah, right.
Or conventions.
Right.
Generally walking around, it's like, oh yeah.
I was
go
gonna say.
to a
Right.
GameStop. It's like, oh man,
We need to bring that to the Smash tournaments.
you buy a game and you get a bottle of body wash.
To add to
Yeah.
that, one of the shops that I used to frequent, just to not only buy my supplies but also part of the tourney scene.
Mm-hmm.
In our circle, it was nicknamed the stink hole.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because every time that you walked in there, you were hit with a waft of just odor.
Oh man.
Now, for someone like me who has no sense of smell, not a big problem, but I
Yeah.
could taste the sour air.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
And
You're like,
I bet.
whoa.
I remember I was frequenting that shop very often with my roommate, building Yu-Gi-Oh decks, because you go through those boxes, you pull out what you need, stack it together, boom, there's your purchase. And I remember my roommate telling me, "It's so bad in here, my eyes are burning. Can we hurry up and go? I hate to cut it short, but it's just so bad."
It's like,
Now,
my eyes.
what's funny about this is right next door, there used to be a Domino's Pizza.
Mhm.
And you're telling me that the odors from the pizza parlor aren't enough to mask how bad the clientele is in here?
Oh no.
That's
Like,
funny.
I would think with Domino's next door, you'd be smelling like, pizza and
Right.
breadsticks and all that. No, the
That's
fact
nice.
that the odors in the card shop just outclassed everything.
No,
That's funny.
it's basically like a garbage bin of a Domino's
I love
outside
the-
inside
Yeah.
the store.
I love that it was so bad you could taste it.
Yes.
That's funny.
Contrary to what some people say, if you don't have all 5 of your senses, the other ones really are heightened.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
and to be fair, like I would go in there and I would just be like, ugh, like I'd have to pine saw my mouth because it's
Yeah.
so disgusting.
It's
And
crazy.
so yeah, if they're putting cards in body wash, we definitely need that here, because I can't
Yes.
imagine the tourney scenes in Japan being like that, because I guarantee that
Oh no.
body odor would be frowned upon.
Right.
Oh no, dude. They even have rulings and shit. It's like you have to have hygiene. If they think for a minute
You
you've
have
got a
to have
problem,
You
hygiene.
smell,
Yeah,
or
right,
there's
right.
something wrong
you're
with you.
shunned. And
Yeah.
you
Right.
can get in big trouble.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
you're disrespecting everyone
Yeah.
by your actions.
Yep.
And
Everyone
I-
can smell you.
And I, to piggyback off what I said earlier about not having a sense of smell, I invite people to tell me if I am rank, Like even my roommate would be like, "Hey, before we go, you might want to wash up because you smell kind of foul."
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I'll be right back. Because it's one thing if it's just me and I can't smell it. I don't want to embarrass anybody else that I'm
Right.
with. And I was
Right.
like that. I was like that even when we would go to the card shop, except when we would leave, we would actually feel dirty, like, ugh, I gotta go
Yeah, like
detox.
it,
Yeah.
it, even though I got sensitive skin, like it literally breaks me out when I wear deodorant, but I still wear deodorant when I go out because I know I'm gonna be around other people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
gotta be. Yeah.
just remember, you got to. Krillin has to be reminded he has no nose.
Goku.
Can't smell.
Well, let me
Uh,
ask you this to get on a different topic. Like
Mm-mm.
with Pokemon art, in the
Mm.
original cards, there were different like art styles. Some of it would be like
yes.
a crocheted Pokemon
Yeah.
or a physical like claymation looking
Like the
Hmm.
Pokemon
yarn,
or
the little
yeah,
yarn looking ones.
or
Yeah.
art. Did that like
Yeah.
They still
appeal
do
to
that
you?
now,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Does that appeal to you and you're collecting? Does that like
Mm.
make it like when it comes to other trading card sets? I don't see anyone else doing that method. So does that pull you in to collect them because of
Mm.
that uniqueness?
But for me, it does because I always like just the sets in general, like the themes of them. Because I love the Rockets because they had the dark cards,
Mm-hmm.
and then I love
Yeah.
the gym cards because they were all gym themed and they had the little gym sticker, like Misty on it or whatever. So I love that. I love when it's like, yeah, just that one kind. So yeah, those always stand out to me. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
when
if it
Rock,
nec I don't know if it
sorry.
necessarily like draws me in more. It's something it's a bonus. I mean, I'm already like the
Mm.
product, so I'm like, this is cool because it's just like buying an art book of a
Mm.
compilation that somebody did for some video game or some anime, and it's a bunch of different artists doing their renditions of whatever the art is, and I'm like, man, it's just cool. Because it's like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool to get to see the different styles and artistic takes
Or
for these
ones I like
characters, and
recently that I've been seeing a lot of that's really cool to me is when they'll have, say, like, I don't know, like a Jigglypuff card, and then they'll have what is the bird, Chatot? It's like they'll have like one card that has the Jigglypuff and they'll have like, the bird in the background. And then the other card they have the bird and then they have a Jigglypuff in the background.
hmm
Like I love all that like storytelling in the cards. That's cool. Yeah.
Yes, that was another thing I
Yeah.
was going to bring up. In
I like
newer
that.
sets, there is a story across the board where it's like a bird stole a Dende's little strawberry or something and is
Yeah.
chasing
Yeah.
after it, Like that's a neat little
Or
thing.
the Snorlax where it had like all the different pieces of his body in each card. I like that. Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes,
cool. That's
Or
awesome, man.
or there's I've noticed that there's actually sets where they're actually giant pictures,
Mm.
but
yes,
you got to
Yeah.
yes.
put like puzzles almost, like got to put them
I
together,
always
but they're
always like
in different
those.
sets
Yeah,
too
because I
sometimes.
still got the tops cards where they would have like, yeah, the back of the one be like a whole picture. I love those. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I completely got out of Pokemon like after my cards were stolen because I ended up
Mm.
having
Mm.
a complete set of basic two,
You telling me that?
fossil, and jungle, and then some of Team Rocket. But I ended
Huh.
up just I kept like whatever like the bulk cards were, but I ended up giving those out to my cousins and some other
Mm.
friends. I think I have very little of my original Pokemon stuff. But whenever COVID happened, I was like, okay, I want to do
Huh.
something with my son, so it's something to do.
That's cool.
And Obsidian Flames came out, and I was like, this set looks cool. It had this cool, the Charizard and everything. And I was
Mm.
like, yes, let's do this. And I could get a box cheap. I mean,
Nah.
relatively cheap, and it was easy to actually get the stuff. It was easy to get a lot of the Sword and Shield stuff, and then everybody else was doing the same thing, and it's just started this scalpers coming in, buying all the product. You just couldn't find it, and it's just escalated even further. But
Yeah.
and it sucks because like I haven't been able to since really kind of Obsidian Flame to be able to really pick up something for him because we started trying to do the 151. I really wanted a set of that because it's like, hey, this harkens back to when I was,
Yeah, I did
a
like those too.
teenager, and like I wanted to be able to collect this with my son, and I got an ETB and like the binder set that came with 3 packs and one other, and that was it. I couldn't find any more. But then I would
Mm.
watch people on YouTube going finding bulk of it, and people going, "Oh, no
Yeah.
one wants this." I'm like, "What state are you in?" Because you're definitely
Right.
not
Right.
here in Houston. I mean, because you can't find anything.
Right.
Do you, for those of you who collected and were in the tourneys and whatnot, did you find it helpful when when they were making certain sets more readily available because either they just weren't that great, or
did we find it helpful or discouraging with sets if people were saying this is a horrible set, or basically the good or bad of the contents within each set that was being released if you were a tournament player? For me, I didn't have that struggle. I would look because once again, if you knew where to look on the internet with that limited time you had, you would find like, oh, the Japanese set was already released a while back. People have already scanned and translated it. You could kind of get an idea of what the cards were, and you'd be thinking strategies. Like if everyone else is swearing by it's terrible, you could be like, okay, I think this card has potential. What can I bundle this with?
See, I didn't go to the tournament scene for Pokemon, but
I was in it. It was. When I went away. I don't remember what set it was. It was like an epiphany moment. I've said this before because I was also big on the tournament scene with the Game Boy games, where you started seeing so much cookie cutter, and I would see these people that are either young, new, varying age group, and it's like they think they've got this cool thing. It's gonna be fun. And they're getting just absolutely destroyed, shattered. It's like, this is not what I want. I don't want to be the part of the problem. I want to enjoy it. I want people to enjoy it with me. I don't need, that's where how I went away. I came back and then it was like, we have different species. We have energies I've never heard of. Now there's different versions of trainers and all these gimmicks on the cards. It's like, okay, I have no idea what any of this does.
Right.
But it was one of those things, like I said, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I knew people who still did, but yeah, for me, I was just thinking, back to when I would watch the VHS episodes of the show, and that's how I learned about the tournament scene. Because where I'm at, they didn't do that. I had to drive at least an hour away, 45 minutes to even get to a place that did tournaments, and even then, I wasn't lucky enough to go to any of these. So all I saw was on TV or, yeah, they hyped that so much in the ads on the VHS station. Like I always wanted one of the little badges, like they give out the little pins, little badge pins, and all that. I used to love all that. They were advertising. They hyped it up so much.
That was
yeah,
the Pokemon League.
That
was the Pokemon TCG League. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was never.
I wish I knew what happened to my sets.
I like I said, I only have the Boulder badge and Cascade badge for
cool.
when we did the actual Game Boy. We were playing that way because we didn't do
I thought
the
it was like the show. I'm like, well, you can get the badges. That's cool. Or you'd see like people on the bus was playing the card game and all that. But yeah, I just never really had anybody to play with. So I was never in the scene myself. Yeah.
And
the Boulder badge, Cascade badge, they did two versions during the two times they did a Nintendo like big Pokemon tour, mall tour thing.
Yeah.
I had the Pogs they did for the very first one. It allowed you to challenge their representative, and if you beat the representative, you got a very generic black ball cap that just had stitching that said Pokemon on it.
Hey, I'd still take it.
Yeah, right.
And then there was the second time, which I went to, you got literally a certified Mew. It had like its own little certificate of authenticity for a piece of data. And they stepped up it was still the Cascade and Boulder badge, and then this little participation thing.
Yep.
But they were like enameled now. They're like encased enamel, little put on a keychain kind of thing.
Yep. And what was cool about it though was that like you could actually, if you had that, you still had that certificate, you could and use a Game Shark or whatever, you can actually put in that code, and as long as you have that certificate, it matches your Pokemon number.
Yeah, that was
and you could still use it.
Thing that happened there on the Hackymon scene.
Right, yeah.
It was like, let us give us the keys to the castle kind of thing.
And going back to Zombie's question, like I'm a collector before I'm a competitive player. Because how many times has someone slept on a card for that card to be useful later. Let's look at Yu-Gi-Oh real quick. Let's look at what was it? Skull Servant, right? Everyone passed
Oh
on Skull
yeah.
Servant, and then what happened? It became very big meta because of all the Skull Servant support that's come out over the years. People try to go back and get those old cards, pay a lot more because guess what? If it's in the past, it's going to go up in price unless it was absolute garbage. And so a lot of people are paying more and panic buying more because of that.
King
So
of the Skull Servants.
there you go. And then
But
Lightmare and all that fun stuff.
And
That
I
only
should know
wor-
because I run that one.
Nice.
yeah, but that train of thought only goes so far though, because if you look at some of the sets, it's like some cards you would think would be absolute, even if they're old, nobody wanted them,
Hmm.
Right.
but they're cheap. But then you get some rando who's like, I am now wanting specifically this one card, somehow catches fire, and now this card is super expensive.
Yeah.
It's like, what was it? The Kabutops, or not Kabutops, Kabuto King guy or whatever, who's like specifically only wanting one version from Fossil, I think, of that Pokemon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he literally, with his little whole campaign, created an artificial market for that card.
That's
But then there's
Vince's favorite, Kabutops.
Yeah.
I have both those cards still.
Nah.
By the way, if you want
I'm
to
not getting
challenge
rid
me,
of them.
if you want to challenge me for a badge, here you go.
Okay. I see you.
dude, I designed my own badges when I was at cons. I was the evolution gym leader several times for a couple of them.
Nice.
And going back to the question that Zombie originally asked that Josh was able to clarify. Yeah, I'm a collector before I'm a tournament player as far as the card game. Like the only thing I ever play, like I said, I only ever played Magic the Gathering in kind of any kind of tournament setting. Because that was, I had a black white deck with it was actually a vampire deck with a Baron Senior
Yeah.
and a bunch of other vampires, and in a, what is it, the can't remember what the card was, but it was like the pit of something where you can basically create 1/1 creatures
Oh, so you weren't
every
running
turn.
Volrath up in that bitch, huh?
No, because when you sacrificed creatures to the Baron Senior, it gave him a 2/2 counter. So when you had most of these, like these pit generators that would generate creatures that you would just sacrifice to him, you just continue to build up his attack and his HP. And then like after a certain point, I just go tap and kill the guy because he would none of it would wipe out his whole board and his 20 life counter, because there was nothing they could do about it.
That's the thing with competitive. I've noticed, like on bits will show up is like people are showing these things of these 4 cards. I can now do this. Doesn't seem like I'm doing it. And it's like, what would have originally taken a while, and you could enjoy the game with somebody. Nope, I just did it in one turn.
Yeah, see, it's got to take some time. You got to build it, but
not anymore.
But
right,
Vince,
yeah.
You're right though, because the Ninja Turtle set didn't do well because it's kind of self-contained, like they were using words like ninjas and stuff like that. And now that's kind of spilling over into the Marvel set with the hand. So those turtle cards that mention ninjas and stuff like that can be played with the hand, boosting their powers up, boosting the turtles up. Uh-oh, I didn't get that set. I better rush to the market and get those.
Yep. And that's a whole other thing. That whole turtle set, I really want to complete it, but like I kind of despise the choice of design for what they did with the turtles. And this could be the time that you could have made it made a turtle set that actually celebrated the TMNT for the last 40 years. And no, they decided to do it. Oh, we're going to base it off of the new version of the Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and a certain stylized version.
Yeah,
And
I don't like that one.
and like not give everybody something that represents them. Oh, well, because it was so bad because I was like, oh, hey, look, we have the cartoon turtles in here, or at least the animation of the cartoon turtles, but the turtles look like just animated versions of the ones that are in this set.
That's the ones they're adding to that Sonic Cross Worlds, that racing game. They're adding like the newest, that Mutant Mayhem. I don't like the animation style for this. I don't like this. It
Now,
could be any other turtles.
there
besides
are
him.
cards that harken back to the old turtles, and those are the ones I wanted more than anything.
Yes.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like that new design is terrible.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a Ninja Turtle fan, so I'm kind of sucked into it.
Yeah.
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 That's what they're banking on is the like I'm listening to this. I'm like a huge Ninja Turtle person, but I don't. For me, it's one I can't get to places that would easily have it, so I'm automatically going to be paying whatever's online price.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And then
eBay
you look
right
at
now
it
is
like,
cheaper than going to a regular toy card store right now. You can get a booster box for about 120.
Yeah.
but
Wow.
my point is, it's like then you see thanks to the online markets, you can see what these cards look like, and it's like that's hideous. I'm not going to go out of my way to get that.
Well,
Yeah.
when you had a chance to represent every version of April that existed,
Mm-hmm.
and you decided to just make the same April that they decided to use
Yep.
every version of that April.
Yep.
And it's like, guys, this is the moment. It's like it would be like them taking Final Fantasy and going, all right, well, we have a set design for these characters. They're all going to look like this. No matter if it's Final Fantasy 1 through 15 or 16, they're all going to look like this. And it's like, no, you need to celebrate the property. You need to celebrate, let the fans be able to, revel in this like majestic thing of, oh, hey, look, I get to celebrate what I love in a card game that I enjoy. They didn't do this with Turtles. I mean,
The only thing I could think of real fast here on this is what they did, and this is what's going to kind of screwed that set. Going for the newest looking turtles, that's advertising to younger demographic,
Mm-hmm.
you're
not
alienating
the
your
people who
original fan base.
actually play, like, will want to play the game or collect the cards to have them in their private set. They will be like, oh, I remember that was my favorite turtle growing up, or my favorite bad guy. No, it's the newest thing was out. This is what they gave us permission for. We're just going to say fuck everybody, and the kids will get their parents to spend $100 and something, like you just told me a box of it would be.
But
Well,
Josh, that's the thing though. The general consensus with players, they hate that set.
yeah.
It's garbage to them.
Well, it
When
doesn't help
you
that half these crossovers, from what my understanding, are them just slightly changing a different card and putting a new face
no,
on it with a
so
different name.
there is only like a handful of cards that are like they're retools of old cards, just reskinned. Most of them, these are new cards. They just have art that is tied to whatever the source material is. I can't remember what they're called, but they're stylized art cards and they reference just old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now-
it's the marketability of those Pokemon Halloween cards then, where
Yes.
they're just cash grabs. They have no
Yes.
utility.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
The
that,
Halloween.
it's
Go ahead.
that, but it's also this, right? The whole thing about this is that you can't go and say, hey, I'm going to celebrate Transformers and have a Transformer set of Magic the Gathering and only do Armada or only do Beast Wars or
Right.
only do the Fall of Cybertron, or you need to have every moment of like that somehow encapsulated in there, like Master Force, regular G1 Transformers, the G2 stuff, all of it, the comics, IDW, all that stuff needs to be somehow in that set to champion, like to celebrate the franchise, to celebrate the brand. But
Yeah.
what Turtles they did it on purpose. They just did, like they marketed to a certain group of people at a certain age that grew up with a certain set of turtles. And it's not technically not Mutant Mayhem. It's more based off of the Turtles. What is it? The Rise of the Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, oh, well, you could have had the 2012 series. I would have loved that more than the Rise of the Turtles or Mutant Mayhem. But you completely alienated me, who's been a fan from the beginning
Mm-hmm.
with the original Mirage comic and the cartoon. And
Well,
that's
say
what
that-
you do. You're basically narrowing your group of people to one demographic that may not actually have the disposable income to buy this product.
Yeah.
So therefore, when it comes around to say, hey, did Turtles do really well? No, it didn't. I guess we're not going to do a second set for it. Then
But-
we're out of luck.
But then that's where they want to get you, is you're wanting the Mirage stuff. That was in the full art collector's packs. That's how you
Yes.
get your fandom. And I saw that writing on the wall, and I was like, I'm not going to go all the way with this because of that,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's way too much money.
Mhm.
And I think it's October or November they're doing Star Trek, and I'm scared about it. Is it just going to be the the original crew? Is it going to be a celebration of the entire series? Like, what are you going to do with this that makes me want to collect this?
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah,
It's only
It
gonna it's only
seems-
gonna be Enterprise. It's only gonna be this instead of
That's
What
the thing
a
is they need to if it's a property like Transformers, like you brought up, where there's different iterations where they do have a thing. It's like
Mhm.
Transformers, Beast Machine, Transformers, Rise Against
yeah.
whatever. Make the sets specific, kind of like the Pokemon sets go, where it's like Pokemon Fossil, Pokemon Team Rocket Returns. Where it's isolated, you can fit it. I get that. That's the problem. Is they're not. It's like Stark said, where it's like, no, we're just gonna blanket it in and hope you go and just pay more for this one set.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to cut
But
you off, Zombie. Go ahead.
to that point, though, is it truly better to isolate according to the different series rather than just unify everything and maybe have depictions from Star Trek TNG on one card, original series in another? You don't have to have like a Captain Picard card or a Captain Janeway card. You could even have all of the captains have it do one useful effect, United We
You
Stand
could.
kind of thing.
Well,
So
Sid for Final Fantasy. They had every version of Sid in that Final Fantasy set,
That'd be a lot of Sids.
and they all did the same thing. It was just
Yeah.
different skins for that one card.
yeah, but
The
Zombie,
thing is, go ahead.
they
Go ahead,
did a
Stark.
turtles card that had all 4 turtles on there, and the general consensus was it's too much to play it. So like they did try to do something like that, but let me make a bold prediction. When the Star Trek the set comes out, I'm guaranteed that white's going to be the Federation, blue's going to be Vulcans, red's going to be Klingons, black maybe Borg, and green's going to be
Romulans.
Romulans, and that's how they're going to do it. It's going to be the original series stretched out across all that.
And what,
Mhm.
Ferengi are going to be blue because they just take everything?
Well, Ferengi's not. They wouldn't know that till the next gen.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that I think of it this way too. Final Fantasy was the most successful Magic the Gathering set. That blew numbers out of the water, and it is what they should be modeling everything off of.
Mhm.
And it's sad that when they did the Turtles, even though I know we had like what one set after Final Fantasy, then we had the Avatar Airbender stuff. Then
Yeah.
then we got the
Forgot about
Turtles.
Airbender.
Oh no, we
Yeah.
got Spider-Man, Airbender, then Turtles.
Did Hobbit come out before that?
I think so.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
But I know that like a lot of these cards were already in the process before or during the process of them making Final Fantasy. So like they should be able to take the lesson learned from Final Fantasy and go, hey, okay, we need to really kind of like hit the market for all the fans instead of just narrowing it down. Because that's what Lucas and Disney did with
Yeah.
screwing up the Star Wars universe, because they wanted to have a new fan base instead of kind of working together with new and old.
Mhm.
And that's something they need to. I'm not using this as a way to rant about Star Wars. I'm just saying there's that's an example, real world
Oh, yeah.
application for film, that Final Fantasy is what you should be doing, where it
Mhm.
celebrates all of it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
homework. It's doing the invested time and research to be like, okay, let's do this. Final Fantasy, like you said, yes, Sid had every iteration and it did the exact same thing, but it was done in a way, if you liked Final Fantasy 27 or whatever Sid, as opposed to Final Fantasy 1 Sid, you could hunt that card.
And you
Yes,
can do the
giant
same.
exaggeration there, but I felt it was
Yeah.
necessary.
Well, and then you have all the chocobos: gold,
Yeah, that was a
yellow,
deliberate
black,
marketplace hat
white,
from hell.
red,
Wonderful.
green. You had all the chocobos. I mean, literally. I mean, it's like, so why couldn't you have done that with Turtles? Why couldn't you have done that with like having every version of April, having every version of Shredder,
That'd been cool.
multiple versions of the
I
Turtles?
wanted the excuses why they didn't. Show me the evidence. That's like with the Pokemon thing. Show me
Mm-hmm.
where it says everybody wants these extra hidden cards. Everybody thinks, you know what? This Pokemon needs 3 different versions of him in the same set. And for whatever reason, they all do the same thing, but one is going to be way harder to get, and it's going to cost. We're going to, for some reason, just say he is more than if you just bought a booster box. And you still don't have a chance if you bought a booster box of pulling it to get your money back if you decide to flip the card.
Well, there's those collector boxes that like and they're well worth like 3 times the price of a standard booster box.
But Vince, didn't they do something like that a while back with Godzilla, where it was the same monster, but if you want this skin on this card,
Yes.
this Godzilla,
Yeah,
you had to
but
buy like a special pack.
Right, but it was
Yeah.
all through the secret layers.
Okay.
Because I don't think they did an
Secret Layers of
official.
Plague.
They didn't do an official Godzilla set, but I think he did a cameo in some set, and it was just the secret layers, one of the two.
So
Yeah,
let me
I-
ask
Go ahead.
this then. Do you think they are marketing towards the collector more or the actual player more?
Collector.
Yeah.
Everything's marketed to collecting.
The problem is that I'm going to disagree a bit on that. They were going, as their business model has always been, is gotta catch them all, which is gotta collect them all.
Mm-hmm.
They're only now trying to make a difference because the collecting aspect is affecting their other business, which is the small play group of people who actually play the game. And if you can't get kids to want to play it, they're not going to be able necessarily be like, oh, because not every kid is just I want to have a binder and look at these pretty cards. Some people want to actually do what they're intended to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't get that money, you're gonna get ass out. And then they're finally listening. Somebody picked up a paper with like, wait a minute, the fan base is bitching about the prices, and we're only marketing this to this much. What's going on?
Well, they've been out of the loop for a while as far as what was going on because it wasn't.
Yeah,
They're producing it, and it was a third party company that I can't remember who it was, but that company was the one actually distributing it out. So they were only getting whatever artificial numbers that were being given by that company. And when your whole business practice is to sell a card game to players, that's one thing. But on the US side, because that's where the problem is, we have scalpers because those scalpers are now not only affecting us,
they're not staying in our country just anymore.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going everywhere for it. But it's sad because Wizards of the Coast, WotC, they don't care. That's why they did. Oh, you have the collector's boxes, and then you could do this. There's like all these different products versus like Pokemon. You may get a booster box, you get an ETB, and then maybe some promo boxes, but that's about it, right? And then you have the sleeves and some other stuff, but it's nowhere near as crazy as what it is with Magic the Gathering. Because at least if I buy a booster box, I have a chance to pull every card that exists within that set. I have a chance. If I go and buy a booster box for Magic the Gathering, there's no way I'll get any of the stuff that's in the collector's stuff to complete the set.
That's a damn shame because I remember back in the day when I was in high school, they had a guaranteed number. It's like, there was more. You're not necessarily going to get the one you want, but you're guaranteed to get something.
Yeah.
Because you used to be able to buy a box and get close to a set. You had a few chases that you may have missed, but it was like you mostly had the whole set. But then, of course, back then there was no foils in Magic the Gathering. It was just the cards. And even with Pokemon, you only really had the special Pokemon that were foil. Not everything was like foilized or serialized, all this stuff. And now what it does now, which is crazy with all this extended art and SIRs,
all that crap. Yeah, it's like it's making more work than it's worth. It's definitely gone heavier towards the collector market, but like I said, it wasn't hitting them where they lived. But now that our scalpers are going there, it's like, well, the American card market is getting so hard for me to even get into, or now they're limiting me. They aren't doing it. Let's grab their stuff. because that's how they've been getting. I haven't been getting that money.
Yeah.
But see, where I think Pokemon and Magic's different though is with Pokemon, there's going to be 16 different Pikachus with 16 different effects. Where in Magic, this is Turtles, same effects. This is Star Trek, same effects. You're just getting a different picture on it. So it may not always appeal to somebody. And so like I think what the Turtles have done though is they introduced the word ninja, and that's going to be a big player later on where
hopefully it'll get
yeah,
lost in the shuffle because they've done that before with cards where it's like, here's a special word, and it was good, it was neat, we wanted to see where they went, and nothing.
well, I mean,
You just quietly went away.
think about the Infinity Stones though. They're gonna have they must have a plan if they're gonna release them all eventually.
I don't think they do.
You don't think so?
I don't think they do. The only thing I see with that is they have the right to do it,
Collector
and
bragging.
people will buy it.
Oh wow.
So
I
it's
don't
just
think
a
it's going to
flex.
be as big. It's more in the collector market than it is in the play market.
You know,
Because I mean, if you look at the Lord of the Rings set, not to cut you off, Zombie, look how many versions of the One Ring they did, and then they made one specific one that was, we only printed this one art. It has a special text, all this crap on it. Maybe you'll get lucky and get the pull. Which to this day, I believe there's one other one because I don't for a second believe they only printed one version of that. I think there's a proof one still existing, and then the one they put out in public.
And the reason why I mention it that way is because I was thinking back on the exposure that we had with a lot of these TCGs early on. I remember you could even go to Costco and you could get 2 starter decks, a deluxe playing mat, just pretty much everything you needed to get the game going. It seemed like the focus was um to either get people into it, to get them started, or if you already have your own starter deck, you're looking to expand or teach somebody, then you go pick up these really big, starter kits. And I mean, they were everywhere. You could get cards at Walgreens.
Yeah,
you could get them
there
at,
was saturation.
yeah, there really was.
General
And
Dollar.
yeah,
Yep.
anywhere,
I mean,
anywhere that could remotely sell cards, you could even find them at Dollar Tree.
Dude, you could go. I remember early start. Supermarket where I was next to my house. You could go buy a gallon of milk, go to checkout, and there was a booster box. It wasn't like shielded. You didn't have to worry about anybody like sitting there weighing packs or anything. It was just right there like a pack of gum.
And
Good luck now.
That seemed to me to be marketing towards the actual players rather than collectors. Now the whole perspective has flipped, and what you're combating is this system where you're having to deal with the collectors market rather than the players market. And it's insane to me to know that they're marketing products that don't have utility, that because it's a license or it's a pretty picture, that's what's going to hook people in. I find it crazy that I've got this sealed Alone in Diglett card that probably was from a Happy Meal. I don't remember when, but the only reason this would be sought after is not because it's Alone in Diglett. It's not because it has a good effect. It's because it's in a sealed plastic pouch from a McDonald's promotion.
Oh, dude. You want me to break your heart for a little bit? I might break a couple of you guys. When I was packing up stuff, I was working for Target. I believe it was either the first or second Sun and Moon set that came out. We didn't, for whatever reason, didn't promote it real heavy. Back of our electronics store, we had a little folding table. They literally just put out the Magikarp special sealed pack Magikarp cards, and it was a gold Magikarp. That was what made it unique. Is the illustration of the the Pokemon card was, yes, it was Magikarp, but it was the shiny Magikarp. I have like 2 or 3 of those sealed, and then when I went to see the Pokemon, the third movie, when they still gave movie promos, kids, I have the Inte, a couple foil, or they're still in those little plastic sleeves. Never been opened, original plastic, still in good condition, but do I intend to give those away or, oh, let me get them graded or any of that? No, partly because the memories I have personally
Yeah.
attached to them is more important. Like the reason I have the Inte is because my deceased stepfather took me to see that, snuck me out of school and took me and my little brother to go see Pokemon the third movie, and that was his copy. And he just didn't open it. I opened mine, obviously. My little brother definitely opened his because he's a little kid, at the time. It's like, ooh, new Pokemon card, right? Me, it was, ooh, let's see what this thing could do. Right?
And that's another thing too, is now there's the graded aspect.
Yep.
So that takes away from the common player or the tournament player. I don't even hear anything anymore about tourney scenes. I hear more about these fights that are breaking out over sets. These
Or the Pokemon vending machine, or
the vending machines.
We got hit because and 20 grand worth of Pokemon card
stores
product
being
just got
broken
jacked.
into.
Or the fights at the stores where, hey, we got new product in.
Yeah, I always
And
loved
that's
it when it was
mine,
a
or Costco, and they just throw everything in the cart.
it wasn't a matter of if you were going to get robbed, it was when you were going to get robbed.
When
Yeah.
you were going to, it doesn't even seem worth it to have a card shop or to even have a designated section where you sell cards, because you run the risk highly of somebody breaking in and doing that.
Here's the problem. They're making it where it's like a jewelry store. You're going to have to unload all of your shelves of all of your merchandise, put them in a over-the-top security setup, and then pay someone else that extra time you could be making money from that time instead to unload, put every single piece back where you had it the day before, hoping that one person's going to walk in and want to buy it.
Yeah.
It's sad to me, the mom and pop ones, or just the people that are like our age or whatever, and they just genuinely love the card game, so they want to sell it other people. Those are sad when they get broken into. But what's really scary to me is the actual scalpers that have their own card shops.
Yes.
Like that's
I've
really
seen that.
scary.
So the people who are doing technically what's illegal in the United States, they're going somewhere else, buying their inventory and then counting it as their own.
And I don't just mean like the ones fighting in a Walmart. I mean just the ones doing it online, like just scalping on eBay and stuff. I mean, these are literally the ones in the Walmart, like the big tough guys fighting with somebody. They have their own card shop. That's crazy.
Oh, dude,
Like
there was
about to throw down hands with somebody over a card game. That's
there
crazy.
was a thing. There was a short that had shown up on one of my one of my social media feeds. And Vincent told me, he was going to try him and his son and his son's friend were going to go to like Best Buy for a set and try to get it in the early in the morning, try to get in line. This guy, you hear these people like they're in the schoolyard and they're 5 going, you cut the line, all this, but they're speaking like grown ass, aggressive gangbanger adults and shit. And it's like,
yeah,
what the hell is wrong with you?
Some are like legit bodybuilder types, and you're like, okay, not messing with this guy. But some are just all, bark and no bite. But I mean, that's what's scary to me, is those are the ones that have their own car shop that are fighting with little kids and stuff.
Just
And
read a story,
Walmart.
dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're on local news, a part of a town next to mine, their historic area. 5 people got stabbed over fucking Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And it was because they happened to be walking by a shop that was getting broken into, and I guess the guy fucking flipped and just like attacked him like they were trying to take his stuff. And it's like, dude, I don't think they were. I think they were, at the time like this occurred, I'm pretty sure they were probably bar hopping.
Or
just
the one that
apparently walked past the wrong window.
The one that was too weak to break the glass with the bricks, so he came out with a chainsaw.
What?
Like that's crazy.
I heard about something like
they
that.
will go extreme. There was another one. A person literally, and they thought this okay, took a car, stole a car, drove it into the building and back out just to get into the card shop.
So that's a story I can tell you guys. And we talked about this on the podcast like way early in the beginning. We talked about the fact that like my dad had a comic book shop.
Mm.
The reason why we stopped having a comic book shop was two teenagers took their car back into the glass with their car, climbed in through the front window, and started loading the trunk and stuff. They only luckily they got caught, but the damage was done.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and
That's
back
crazy.
then it was expensive to like get insurance because we had been open about like I said, about a year, and we were in the process of trying to get insurance, and then this stuff happened, and it was like, you know, and that's crazy because you know these were
That's
teenagers
scary.
doing that just to go in to
Yeah.
go steal comics and stuff and toys,
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
and they're just people doing it now for Pokemon cards just so they can flip it.
One similar to what Josh said, but I heard one where there was this couple, like you know, man and woman, but they rented a U-Haul and backed into someone's garage because
Yes.
they learned about, you know, they had their own little setup, car setup, but like they got caught because they rented a U-Haul. I'm thinking, how stupid can you be?
Mhm.
And they probably use their own names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they didn't.
Pay
They
with
just
it with a
use
card that
yeah,
traces
use a
to
credit
them.
card, use their own name, but it's like you're too stupid to know you rented a U-Haul. You're going to get caught, dummy. But yeah, how scary is
Yeah.
that? Someone broke your whole garage because they knew you had
Yeah.
cards. That's crazy.
And see, that's what makes me
Yeah.
afraid about having a storage unit right now with all
Mm,
my stuff in it, because the only thing keeping them from it is them cutting through my lock and getting all
right.
my collectibles.
And if they learn about it, that's it.
And we
Mhm.
have me
Oh,
and
dude.
Zombie have a friend that had that happen.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
And it took him forever to get at least some of his stuff back. He never got everything back.
I just want to put this out on the podcast. If you steal my stuff, I will find you and I will kill you.
Oh yes.
I have a
Mhm.
particular set
and,
of skills.
and if you don't, I will murk you.
Yes.
I
So
will
here's
murk
my
you.
thing for you,
I
Star,
will
the
find
storage
you.
unit. And this is just general advice from experiences.
Hmm.
Anything you truly value, okay?
Yeah.
You need to make that faux wall of, oh God, they immediately see if anybody, because no matter what you do, there's always that fucker who's gonna, because your door's open, gonna look in, like think they're
Yep.
clever about walking by or
Mhm.
driving by, whatever the motion they're doing,
Yeah.
and gonna stop and look in. Like mine right now, if you looked in there, you're like, they're hoarding a bunch of junk. What the fuck's going on?
Hmm.
But if you move junk and all that, or you know, whatever like fake scene you gotta do to make you comfortable,
Mm.
Yep.
need to do it. You know,
Yeah.
don't people say, "Oh,
Um,
just throw up a curtain rod and a curtain." That's like, no, fucker. That's gonna make them more curious of what the hell do you have in there.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I'll say something on a positive note. Like I always kind of warms my heart or makes me say like, oh wow, there's it's not the there's always somebody out there doing good. But I love the people that are like giving back to the kids, or they go to those like
Yes.
the card
The
shows.
cons. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cons and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's cool to me how like you can show off your collection and they'll just like give out free packs because they show off their collections. And I'm like, that's just sharing love for, actual people that love it. Or like someone got scammed and then they'll help them try to get their money back or something. I just love when they give back to the kids because I'm like, well, that's at least somebody doing good. It's
Well,
Yeah.
Saturday I
Uh.
watched was it Pat the Pocket Monsters episode where he went to
Mm.
go collect the try to see if he can collect the was it EV set, the evolution, the prismatic evolution set
Prismatic.
for his
Yeah, it
daughter.
was
She had
that or
requested
Stellar
it.
Crown, one of them.
And it was
Yeah.
just really cool just to see the community and how they were acting with the kids and everything. That like
Yeah.
that warmed my heart. It's like you don't
Yeah.
see that with the toy community. You don't see that with the video game community. And I love the fact that the Pokemon
Yeah.
community themselves they get it. And I'm not talking
Yeah.
about the scalpers. I'm talking about the guys that actually have the passion to do this for the collectors and for the kids. And they'll give
Yeah.
them stuff. And if like I've seen so many videos where like somebody had something stolen or they lost their binder and it's like, oh, well, what did you have? And they're like, well, here,
Yeah.
just start having this stuff, because we want to help you out. Because that's
Even
stuff that
people's like well, I know the trainer Erica. There was someone, her actual name was Erica, so all she had was Erica cards, like the trainer
Mhm.
cards. But there's just like somebody in the line that just gave her one of his. Like, I don't know, I just love stuff like that where they're just helping other people because they're like, oh, I want to help out your
Yeah.
collection. I'm like, that's cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You bring up a good point, Vince, and that was something I actually wanted to ask. With all of us here who collect a variety of different things, despite the scalping nature of Pokemon cards, what do we feel really is the most vicious of the collecting worlds or the collecting departments, whatever you want to call it?
Honestly, I'd say Pokemon right now is the worst as far as
Yeah.
collecting side of things
Mhm.
because it's pushed me to so many people away from it because of the fact of the scalpers. You like
Okay.
even with toy scalpers, there's some pretty scummy dudes.
Mhm.
But like they're not as bad as what I've seen from the Pokemon scalpers.
Or widespread,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
see, another thing.
Script. Go ahead,
Sorry.
start.
Another thing I've been seeing, though, we've been talking about the scalper aspect of it, but also there is a trend of opening packs just for the views, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
pay me an extra $20, I'll destroy this pack, and a
Nah.
rare card is now gone
Yeah.
because
From
some
the
idiot.
circulation. Yeah.
It's the hypeness of it, yeah, and just not the love of it. Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, I don't
forget
mind.
about doing whatnot.
I don't mind like watching people open packs, but yes, destroying product for views, for
Nah,
money.
that's stupid.
I remember like people destroying PS3s and PS4s,
Yeah.
buying it day one, where people it was so hard for people to get, and then they just sit there and take it out with a sledgehammer or back it over with a car
Yep.
and destroy it. And it's like, dude, people really want this, you know, and you're being an ass just to get views, and it's but
And like I said, I'll be damned if I get cards through whatnot.
No, but-
Mhm.
Oh God, there's a lot of scammers on that. That's
Hmm
crazy.
And I'm not
I
gonna
remember-
pay. I'm not gonna pay someone extra to open my pack.
Oh,
You know?
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
no.
right. Those are weird to me because you only get the hits. You know, they throw away all the whatever.
not
You
always,
only get like the
not
hits in those.
not
Not
always,
necessarily.
not always. There's
Oh, is it?
some
Conveniently,
some
will have issues if you get a really big hit they weren't expecting.
Yep.
Well, and then on top
Hmm.
of that, it's they don't go and say, "Oh, you only get the hits." No, there's guys that'll do. I'll open packs for you, and then it's usually a card shop. It's like, okay, these guys bought like 13 packs of this. They want you to open it, and the guy will open it for you. They'll put it right in a pack with everything's sleeved, everything's done right, and they ship it to you.
Mm.
But I've seen people that do that thing where it's like, oh, well, you only get the hit, and we'll keep everything else. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
Or they'll
No.
give away the discard pile to like one person or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forget
Because
that.
there's Yu-Gi-Oh
No.
people who do that too, and I'm like, sell the
No.
fodder. There's people out there who will buy
Yeah.
the fodder just to either build a deck or add to their collection or something. You know,
Nah.
there's a market out
Right.
there for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nah.
I'm not gonna lie. I used Whatnot to because I got the urge because I was talking to Zombie and he was building decks. I wanted to rebuild my Amazonas deck with updated cards just because I wanted it. I went through and I heavily researched the hell out of watching these people's acts before I ever gave them $1. It's like I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
just
be
go
careful with some of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is too. If I felt like this is too good to be true, $1 start and you could get 5 cards. It's like
Some people
okay.
start fights on their streams because people called them out in like a scam because they'll like reseal the packs or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a huge
Mhm.
problem. There's a card
That's
shop I
a
walked
big
one.
out of
Yeah.
that opened up not too far from my house. I walked out because they literally had 2 boxes. I think I've mentioned this before. I forget what set it was. It was Pokemon cards.
Mhm.
They were the same set. One
Mhm.
was the regular price, and then there was one more that said weighted packs. I'm
Mhm.
like, and then the lady fucking behind the counter, because she paid attention to me, because the other 2 guys were up their own assholes or something. They were there. Was saying, yeah, isn't it cool that we weighed the packs? You're guaranteed. I'm like, no. And then she says, and then the next thing I hear is because my brother was looking at a card in the display case saying they don't weigh their packs. I'm like, I poked him after she walked off because somebody that was playing at one of their tables wanted her attention. I pointed very casually to the box that said weighted packs, and I'm like, they're full of shit. They weighed their packs.
Oh man.
And I
Oh.
guarantee you their alleged trade-in value is not what they're claiming.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask the room, how do you feel about people who charge more for weighted packs?
Uh-huh.
I think it's scummy.
It's
I
scummy.
do too.
Mhm.
Scummy.
And you're still not guaranteed to get like, oh, the Charizard. You know, you're not guaranteed to get whatever you're looking for. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's bad that that whole weighted scene is getting even worse now, where people are looking for new things like technology says if you have this device that you can get on Amazon for $20 or $10 and it does this, that means there's gonna be this in it. It's
Because I'd
like
feel bad if I spent that much and got like a duck trio or something, just one that's like the least one or
exactly.
something. Yeah, I got a
It's like
Diglett.
just charge me for the random gamble I'm already paying for. I don't need the well, I paid a little more and I still got screwed gamble.
At least could get a
Well,
right to it.
it's a problem when it's new stuff.
Yeah.
It's one thing if
Exactly.
it's like, oh hey, it's a vintage first edition pack, whatever, you could do whatever because that stuff isn't in circulation. You own it, and if someone wants to pay that, pay that. But like when you've got something that's like literally within the last 3 years and you're doing that kind of garbage, that's nah. You're not worth my business.
I remember showing my dad when people were selling the like first edition, like the first like sets to come out, like the first starters and all that. And I remember showing them like the box sets, and they were like 40,000, 50,000, 100,000, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just to open a pack of Blue Eyes White Dragon first edition, I think one store is selling it for $1,000 a pack. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's sad to me when you see the videos too, where they're getting like, I don't know, the GameStop slabs, where it could be a good one or it could be bad, but there's so many channels or videos where they spend hundreds of dollars and don't even make half their money back. So I mean, they probably made more for their channel because they're popular or whatever. But yeah, they made all their they didn't make none of their profit back like at all, and that's scary to me. Yeah.
Now that segues into an interesting question.
But it's the mystery pack of it all, it's the hype of it.
With more and more places wanting to do that whole, you're guaranteed a slab of some kind, whether it be like GameStop that's now saying we sell slab graded cards from PSA.
Because they're not that good.
Do you feel that's right? Or would you rather take the chance and just do the whole, if you want it graded, grade it yourself? Because then there's people who buy those slabs, crack them open to resubmit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can try to get a better grade and up the price.
Yeah.
Or I've heard people point out that instead of buying all those for hundreds of dollars, you can just go to a con or a card, vendor and just spend hundreds of dollars on exactly what you want on singles, Yeah.
I mean, my personal preference, I don't like graded to begin with because now that card's out of circulation and use.
I don't like it for toys. Well, actually, toys would be okay. I don't like it for video games. I don't like it for card. Anything that has it removes it from the possibility of someone being able to like actually use it to play. Because I mean, you're not going to walk into a tournament scene with like 60 slabs and go, "All right, this is my deck."
Shuffle that.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Oh God!
Slabs.
You can those thick card protectors. Very funny story. When the game first came out, and they very first started the Pokemon League for the card game, there were a lot of people that were doing that because they were afraid of doing the regular card shuffling. This was before we all got wise to being like, wait a minute, let's just make a couple little piles and just like shove them together lightly instead of just going like it's a regular plain deck of bicycle cards, But it takes forever to watch these people shuffle those. It can be done. It's just very frowned upon in hell. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the people that dropped the thing that you can't play a deck with that.
There are some I'd like to grade just because they're, like fond memories are just some of my favorite cards. I love to grade just for like, display, purposes. But, the only graded one I have is the Dark Magician. When I showed you start, like that's the only graded one I have. And that's a 10. That's a 10, like Gem Mint, like the best you can get because, that was like my 10th birthday. Like my grandma worked at a place where they graded them, and she don't even remember doing it because she don't work there no more. But that was because it was a brand new card, and that's a very sentimental. I would never sell that.
Yeah,
even though it's not that expensive. But
I get it.
But I mean, that's the best you can
get. That's different than what like Vince was pointing out. That's not you're taking that card. How many times now have they printed that exact same card in different pictures, different sets? It's still in circulation. Because
I think it's just like the regular
one-time
print. Like Stark said, there's so many hollows for that. Yeah.
It's the OG
like
Dark
Stark's
Magician,
versions. Stark and Vince were more like there's like in Magic. Sometimes there's literally only this one card in one set. That's
or
it.
like
Everybody
20
wants it.
or 3,000 in circulation of the whole set that was printed.
And it's a very desired to play in the game card, as opposed to
Black
yours is very
Lotus.
sentimental. Black Lotus, then they got popular, and then they made tons of it across different sets.
Yeah.
Or Birds of Paradise, same deal. Got very popular. Now it's an irrelevant freaking card practically. Now it's for just nostalgia.
And
I've noticed.
I wonder, because like I really kind of hate that whole process. I get it if it's something that means something to you. Like I have not a first edition, but I have my cousin, when he was getting out of Pokemon, he gave me his Charizard, you know, from basic set, but it wasn't a first edition. I still have it. Foil scratched. It's fine. It's whatever. But I keep it because it's sentimental to me because my nephew and my cousin gave it to me. Yeah. And I'll never get rid of it, you know. But I could probably grade it, you know, that way it stays in some kind of condition it's in right now, but not for any kind of monetary value.
You to seal it away, not just because you're trying to say it's a gem mint and I'm gonna sell someday. No, that would be, you want to preserve it, not.
And the reason why
memories attached.
Yeah, and the reason why I said my nephew, because I thought about giving it to him. Eventually, I'd pass it to him or my son, one of the two.
Yeah,
at least keep it in the
different
family.
Level of sealing. There's the preserve cherished memories, like both of you mentioned with 2 cards. Then there's like Stark, and you said, where these are just assholes trying to take it out of the market, make it more expensive. Then it'll probably get cracked out, but that price, now that it's been on the market and somebody sold a copy of it at that level, has affected the raw market. I'm like, okay, let's just call it what it is. It is a card. At the end of the day, if I throw a match on it, it's gonna burn the same.
Yeah. How much is that piece of cardboard worth to you? And that's something that I've tried to talk to my nieces and nephews who's got into card collecting. Like, you know, I know sometimes when they trade, the trade isn't fair. So I want this EVEX, but I also like Pikachu. So I'm going to, this basic Pikachu, I'm going to swap them to them who's very young, under 10 years old. That's just their favorite Pokemon. They don't care about the rarity. They don't care about the glitz and the glamour. Value. It's just a card, right?
You know, they do that in the Pocket mobile game where you only can trade that certain rare for the other rare. Like you can't do a lesser one for a higher one, you know? Yeah.
Right. And so now this a-hole online, now you want this Charizard card? You're going to pay $1,000 for it. Well, no, I'm not. You're going to be stuck with that until you come to your senses. Unless some dude just has undisposable income.
Unless a Logan Paul comes around.
Thanks, Logan
Paul. I was thinking of him. Yeah, he like cut him up and all that. Yeah, he was all about.
And he's under such scrutiny, man. He just.
It was a special
now
kind
people
of
are saying he never had that Jim Mint publicity stunt that he had around his neck that's become infamous for various reasons.
Then he's the reason why I blame Ken Masters looks horrible in the new Street Fighter movie.
Right. This is a special kind of dumb.
What was it? He kept buying, before he had that card, he kept buying fake sealed product of older sets. It's like, okay, how much of that was the real deal that you were stupid and got scammed, and how much of that is fake?
And that's why I think there's a good hype, you know, a good hypeness to stuff, then there's a bad. Obviously, if you're just doing it for views or you're the Logan Paul type, that's bad, because it's like, you know, the ones that do the face, the excited face and all the thumbnails, it's like, it's just for the views. It's just for the hypeness itself. Whereas like when we do stuff, it's hype, but you know, because I get hyped when a game comes out or a trailer or anything or a new movie I like. It's like, it's the love hype, not the, you know, the scummy just for views type, you know, where, you could cut it up or something or destroy it, you know? Yeah.
You want views, right?
Yeah.
Like you're doing any kind of social media that retains some kind of thing, you want views for it. Because you want people to view whatever you're doing. But like there are good YouTubers that are Pokemon collectors that are really good for the community. Yes, they may make those thumbnails. Yes, they may be super exaggerated in their expressions, but they still love it. You can tell someone who loves something versus someone who does not.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
it's like, oh, it's it's a persona, it's a performance that I have that
Yeah.
I'm going to show that I love this thing. No, man,
There,
like
Yeah.
there's a guy. His name is Ruxin34, who's been
Mm.
doing Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time. And basically, when a new set comes out, he'll buy lots and lots of that product. Now, obviously,
Mm.
he'll sell it, but what
Mm.
he's trying to do at the heart of it is to get you hyped for this new set that's come
Mhm.
out, to
Yeah.
keep that fandom alive. And there's
yeah,
nothing
Yeah.
wrong
passion.
with that.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Because I mean, like I like Leonhardt, you know, I like
Mm.
watching him. I like watching
I don't know you.
Breaking Nate.
Mm.
I know you don't like them because it just seems they're the way they're, but it's like I
Yeah.
get the passion. I know people like that.
Yeah. You definitely
They
see
know
the passion. Yeah.
they're not, it's, you know, I don't see that as fake for as far as
Mm.
from what
It's
I've
just the
watched.
put on
And
voice more than the voice, but yeah, the passion does seem real. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you're watching somebody who's just doing it for whatever. I mean, like there's tons
Mhm.
of guys on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff that do just like, oh, hey, we're gonna open packs. And it's like, oh, let's skip right to the end and like, oh, I got this card or it's nothing, throw the cards away and then like go back to the next one. And it's like, you know, then those are the type of guys that sit there and go and they cut up a pack for, you know, $50.
Nah.
I mean,
I'll destroy this
Speaking
new pack.
speaking of which, since you guys were mentioning people that you watch
Mhm.
uh card pack openings with, I remember my roommate and we used to watch Simply Unlucky,
Yep.
Mm.
and he did that with Yu-Gi-Oh, and he's like a total bro when you watch him. And every time we would watch him open a new series, and he's a collector, he's a card player. And then eventually what he did was he sold on eBay and then eventually opened up his own card shop, I think in California.
Mm.
And like he's all around, like he does online sales, he does in-store sales, that kind of thing. And he used to always get us so hyped because he would tell you, okay, here's what to look forward to in this set and kind of break it down. Are we going to pull any of these today? Let's find out. So it was always like an event watching his
Mm.
newest upload, like you're there
Yeah.
watching it
Mhm.
with him.
Yeah.
And he had this way of like really, really selling it. He'd be like, "Oh, baby!" Like he had like this huge, like in
Yeah.
your face hype. And I
That's
used to
funny.
love that because I used to write down what series was worth investing in for the decks that I run.
Mm.
So it was informational and it was also entertaining. I don't see a lot of content like that as much anymore. Rux is probably the only other guy I may watch for anything Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm.
Um,
You don't watch that
and
samurai guy?
I don't think I've heard of him.
He
Mm.
he plays a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, but you can tell his reactions are not genuine sometimes.
Huh.
Like he's
Mm,
doing it to put on a persona, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I have seen Simply Unlucky, and like he's like your football coach who collects Pokemon cards
yes.
and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah.
The
He's like your
yeah.
gym bro, kind of like
The
he's really passionate about what they open. And even if he doesn't pull what the most sought after cards are, you have a fun time watching those with him.
Hmm.
You
Right.
have a fun time, opening the packs.
I was looking
So
those up so I can watch them later.
he always used to amp us up when we would watch his videos. And again, that's
Mm.
how I got a much better understanding of a lot of the series that I missed
Mm.
and which ones I want to collect for, but which
Mhm.
ones do I want to specifically target for deck utility. So
Mm.
that I do find that type of content very helpful. I
Yeah.
don't care for people who throw down boxes upon boxes of packs and go
Yeah.
through that whole thing because I don't always, by the time I'm seeing them open like their 50th pack, I'm already done. I'm already burnt out. I
Uh,
I took the ride.
I want to be able to open them myself. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
uh,
That's what times two's for now.
yeah.
Right,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
or
Well,
times three.
So
I kind of like the slab reveals though, where they see what their score is. Like I don't know, I kind of like those, and because I kind of got into grading a while back, because I not just because I wanted to make some quick money, but like I was sitting on some that I had copies of, and I'm like, oh, I could keep this, I could sell this, whatever. Just wanted to make some money, but it's crazy. The more you learn about the grading aspect, it was just so much more. Like I went down this rabbit hole where I learned so much more, and I was like, I didn't even know where to start. It's so much.
Is it possible to even pinpoint when that took over the card collecting scene? Honestly, like, is it
Mm.
possible to pinpoint when all of a sudden it went from collecting, trading, playing to now there's this massive rush of grading,
Mm.
uh hoarding, fights breaking out, all of that?
Mm.
Was it like an instant overnight sensation thing, or did it
Mm.
rapidly progress, or did it slowly progress even?
I just feel like for the slabs, I've slowly seen that progress. Like I don't think that was just like overnight because I would watch those for years where it was just people either they would sell them or they was just for their collection and they would get like, I don't know, 10, 20 graded at a time. And I'm thinking, how much money did they spend on these? Um, but yeah, for me, that was just interesting to see that. But
Well,
yeah, I'm not really sure.
let
Yeah.
me ask you this, Zombie. What was it before Pokemon? It was shoes, right? People would
The shoes.
scalp shoes and sell them for outrageous prices.
They
And
still
when
do.
Right, they still
Yeah.
do to a degree, but when geek culture became main culture, that caught people's attention, right?
Yeah.
And I remember telling my sister, I'm glad other people are getting into fandoms, but it's going to be to our detriment because more things are going to be made, catch more people's attention. Oh, now I can sell this to you for twice the price because you can't get your hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
Mm.
that's what now, as for slabs, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of at the Walmart's Yu-Gi-Oh slabs are at fault for this because you can buy this mystery box and you can get a slab in there
You can get a
and it's
slab.
all yeah, and it's always a common card, but it's a 10, right? Well, what if my other cards are 10s? Wow, I need to get these looked at, right? So now people are doing this and again taking away from the market, taking away from playability, collectability, because if I have my sheet of cards, I can't put a slab in there. I'm gonna have to crack it open. You know, you've just wasted all of our time.
I was
Mm-hmm.
surprised when GameStop did it because theirs aren't even that good. Like you could be the one
Nope.
YouTuber that got super lucky and got like, the number one, graded card, but then the nine out of 10 people are going to get the crappy one, that's not worth
Mm-hmm.
anything. Yeah.
GameStop's only doing it because they're looking for other avenues to get outside of the video game business
Mm.
because they're just not making it. That's
Guess
why
they
they
decided to
went.
go Hot Topic with some games.
Uh,
That's because they wanted. They want to. That's why they went into. They did what was that Geek Shop? They
Yeah.
mm.
were trying to get into
Yeah.
the whole popularity of like because the Marvel movies were so good, which brought all these fans into nerddom and everything. And they were starting to like memorabilia and toys, and then they closed that down and just put it all in the GameStop. That's why you have everything. You have board games, toys, and all that stuff. They're trying to do everything they can, and they're really pushing into the TCG market right now, even though they've had card games. But like,
Right.
it
All right.
is proof that they have access to more distribution for Pokemon product than any of your mom and pop stores.
They
Do,
do.
do you remember
Let me jump in.
I was telling you about the PokeRev channel where he does similar to what they do with the slabs and the card. It would be like card packs, but he has like different tiers where you could get like the fossil, first edition stuff, but you're more likely to get the EV ones or the more common ones. And I don't like the gamble aspect of all that, like because you're wasting more
Yeah.
money and that one
Well,
person that gets it versus everybody
buying
else that don't get it. Yeah.
buying Pokemon packs is a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buying
And
any
I know
kind of
people
like
love the
trading
By
thrill.
card game.
design is a
The
gamble.
Blind
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
people love the thrill of it and just opening up. Yeah. So I mean that's fun, but then it's just I don't know. That's weird to me that that's a YouTuber that sells these. I don't know.
Oh
But I
yeah.
Well,
think,
Okay.
there's a market for it.
sorry,
Yeah.
Josh. Go ahead, Josh. I want to mention
Okay.
something in a minute.
Okay. I want to touch back on two things. First, with Zombie's question about slabbing when it approached, because it was a big thing in sports cards. That was like
Hmm.
their big thing was grade those photos of those athletic people. It started to migrate as like Stark said, the e culture evolved. Then people were like, oh, and the accessibility to know how to submit things to be graded got bigger. The biggest offenders were things like where I'm going to point the finger at Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they started doing like for their big world tournaments, only 3 of this card. We're not printing any more. So you want to get that graded. They encouraged you to get that graded. So if you decide to sell that one of 10 cards, you could get a ridiculous value for it. Touching on the GameStop situation a bit, what happened there is they're a result of trying to consume all of your competition and not having a plan and trying to keep any other competition away. Because GameStop was originally Funko Land, EB Games, a couple other ones, like there's a couple from Canada, and one company bought all of them because of how the laws work. They merged into one entity and called it GameStop.
Yeah.
Then they went and they bought the Geek website because they're like, oh, this is doing good. And we now have all this money. We're doing so good. They didn't pay attention to the reason you have all this money is because you have all these assets from all the other little things that you turned into yourself. Then as things grow, they made stupider and stupider decisions. And like I said, we didn't have a business plan, but because you're forced to, you can't keep 2 separate companies like that. You have to either A, sell it off or shut it down or merge it into yourself. That's where they transformed into a hot topic with games, because then it's like I have all this merchandise I have to sell. And while my stores are these small game shops, it's easier to say, well, I have all these connections, I can slow down the gaming and I can have all this other these Doctor Who socks, these T-shirts, these things from the 80s, the things, all this kitschy stuff, and they'll hopefully come to my store. Then things like blind boxes. Now they're struggling. They're going to TCG trying to say that's going to keep us afloat, and that's not going to keep you afloat. If anything, you're getting horror stories of people submitting cards through them to get graded because that was what they were hoping for. As well, we can offer that service to go through us, and we'll use our shipping connection to send it to PSA, and it's backfiring like bad. And the PSA is under scrutiny, of course. But I just wanted to mention those things. I think the slap thing I've always thought is kind of like dumb. It's like slapping a video game. Why would you do that?
Yeah, right.
It defeats its intentions of what it was designed to do. If you want to frame a card and you're not worried about selling it, then
those
you
are
can
weird
buy
to me
a
when
picture frame for like $10.
Those are weird to me
Yeah.
when they frame like actual game boxes, and yeah, that's weird to me. Like game cases.
But that's the point I was trying to get to as well. There's a word we've been throwing around that I feel like has lost the heart of what this was all supposed to be. It is a trading card game. The word
Right.
trading means that if, let's say, all 5 of us bought a pack and we got dupes, what do you do with the dupes? You trade amongst your friends.
Yeah.
And again, people are trying to make this a business. It's not a business. It is
Yeah.
something. It's a game.
The
And
hobby.
yeah, hobby.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous the
Yeah.
what has happened to something that we loved as children. Something I wanted to mention 2 years ago on Christmas, my nieces and nephews, I gave them all 20 Pokemon cards from the 151 Mew 151. I purposely put 4 of the same Pokemon in each one of their sets. One may be Pikachu, one may be Pidgey, and so forth.
Nah.
And I wanted to see what they did. And sure enough, they didn't miss a beat. They started trading their dupes with each other to get the card that they did not get. So they understood the assignment, right? So there's still hope for the future in this. But I feel like, again, geek culture became too prominent. People saw they could make money off of us, and now we're screwed because of that.
Because
Yeah.
I have fun when me and you trade, because we're always looking out for ones we need, and just I love the person that like wants to see the other person's collection grow because he already has like 10,000 plus whatever. So that's cool when you can help out somebody else because I have people that trade. Do you know the other people because they have so many? And yeah, I love that. The whole trading aspect is awesome. Yeah.
Well, I've told this story before. When Magician Souls came out, me and my friend each bought a pack from Target, and he pulled one. I needed it for my Dark Magician deck.
Mhm.
At the time, it was going for $100. And without missing a beat, he just said, "You need this for your deck. Take it." Do you know
Yeah.
what it's going for right now?
Yeah.
$2.
Yep.
So, again, what's that piece of cardboard worth to
Only
you?
what
Yeah.
people are
Right.
willing to pay for it.
Right.
There were
That's fine.
times where, because you always want to think, oh, I have two of this, I'll give you one. But there were times where you wanted one, I gave you the one I had just because I know
Oh,
you really wanted it. And then I got it later. I was like, I didn't really care. I was like, what you were saying, I was like, can I part with this one? Do I need this? I was like, oh, I'll just
Yeah.
get it later. And I just gave you the only one I had. And I was like, that made me feel good because I helped you out. And I love that. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And you
Hmm.
got good karma off of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's awesome. Yeah.
It was always best when you could show uh someone that you knew either the insides of the game that you were playing or you guys learned it together at the same time.
Mm.
And I know for Yu-Gi-Oh that was definitely the case with me because I was in high school when that anime dropped, and for whatever reason, I just gravitated to it. Even though when you think
Mm.
about it, the premise, like Pokemon, it's it's so basic. You know,
Yeah.
Pokemon is glorified cockfighting,
Mm.
and Yu-Gi-Oh is about the fate of the world resting on pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Heart of the cards.
And
Oh, don't underline and act like there's a nobler thing. It was still cockfighting. It was just
oh,
mythical
I
creature
know,
cockfighting.
I
Wow.
know. Now, don't get me wrong. I love when they brought the whole Egyptian aspect into it. Like,
Mm.
yes, that
Yeah.
was awesome. The story takes a very dark turn. But going back to
Yeah.
the whole idea of trading card games being what they were supposed to be, I remember to this day, we're at my friend Chris's house, who I used to play with, and we have the structure decks that we bought. I used to hoard my lunch money just so I could be able to buy packs at Toys R Us, and even Best Buy had Yu-Gi-Oh in the game cases. There's like, a bunch of packs that they would stick in there
Mm.
and you just take them to the register and you buy them.
Yeah.
And I remember I was spending the night at his house one day and he buys one of the games on Xbox, and that was supposed to come with the promo, uh one of the promo god cards in it, and it was Winged Dragon of Ra.
Is that
Mm.
the Xbox game?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that
And
one.
I'm watching him play and I'm marveling at the card. I'm like, ah, this is so cool that you actually have a legit god card, because I only had the Chinese knockoff ones that I got off eBay.
Mm.
And he goes, you want it? It's yours. You're a bigger fan than I am. And
Mm.
I said, I can't take that from you, dude. It's a promo card. You got it from the game. And he's like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not even that attached to it.
Uh,
And I know what having the Egyptian god cards would mean for you. Not like I
uh,
was the Merrick of the group or anything, but that's
I
just,
did love those.
because
Those are really cool cards. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
So he gave it to me,
mm.
the
That's
original
awesome.
one, right
Mm.
here. I've
Oh,
had
shit.
this since high school.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It's in the card case. I take it everywhere. It's on my desk. I've got it displayed, everything. The only
That's
other
cool.
card that I treasure just as much as that is my soul card, which when
Mm.
they released this in the premium pack 4, I bought every flippin' pack I could from KB.
Mm.
And I'm walking through the mall with my then girlfriend, who I'm teaching how to play the card game, and my
Mm.
buddy Kevin, who's like the biggest otaku.
Yeah.
And I must have opened like 4 or 5 different packs and not even a single Magician of Black Chaos. And
Uh,
at that point
Yep.
I'm like,
I think I
whatever
have one of
you
those.
whatever you guys need from anything that I just pulled, let me
Yeah.
know, and I'm just going to send it your
Yeah.
way, you know?
Yeah. I think I
I
have one
get
of
to my
those.
I get to my last pack and I tell my girlfriend, if I pull it in this, I'm going to drop trowel and run around this freaking mall. Sure
Uh-oh.
as shit, Last pack, I get him and I get the ritual magic card. And I start doing this, and she's like, "No, babe, don't." And I said, "My word is my word. Did I
Just
not
make sure
tell
I
you
don't get
I was
caught.
gonna do
The
this?"
the
Because again, they all knew what the card represented. They all knew how badly I was waiting for this.
Mhm.
And what ended up happening is when I bought more premium packs, I pulled extras, but this is the very first one that I ever pulled from those packs.
The
So
one that
that's
was I'm on a mission.
yes.
yeah, right.
And we used to come together in our dorms. Everybody would have like boxes or Ziploc bags of all the extras that we pulled. And we said, "All right, let's divvy them up, let's put them together and let's see, who needs what." And it was like that for almost 10 years. Even my blind roommate who I taught how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, he would buy lots off eBay. And he would say, "When the box comes in, I want you to organize it. Divvy up every card that's in there." Of course, he gets the priority pulls. If there's only one, he gets it because he paid for the box. But if there's like 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in there, he gets one, I get one for doing the work, my buddy gets one by default. And I miss all of that. I miss the aesthetic of all the TCGs that I ever followed, that I ever tried to collect for. It's just so scummy how everything is like this now. And we're feeling it from all angles because, like Stark said, when nerd culture took off, when it became accepted to be into this geeky stuff, which by the way, I'm still raging over because
I still don't like that. Yeah.
I would have gotten into fights for how much I liked geeky stuff back then.
Right. Same.
You mean the norm of the accepted norm that if you play this, you're fucking weird.
Or if you watch this,
you're
supposed to be worried about
nerd.
accounting. You're supposed to be worried about accounting in your pickup truck.
Or it's like, you were a nerd, but you had the 2 friends you knew that were nerds, so you were nerds together. You didn't care, and
or
everybody else was
that
different.
makes you lesser of a nerd because you play sports. Or
Yeah.
I'm into anime, but I don't like One Piece. I like DBZ. That makes me more macho. That kind of crap.
Right.
When it became accepted, I was pissed.
Yeah, me
I
too.
really was, because
I
I
always said
would have.
I hate that.
I never got bullied, but I would have to fight over the fandoms I was into.
Yeah.
And TCGs were no exception. The only one that was Magic, though. Magic was the game that all the cool kids played but could never understand.
Yeah.
Magic was in high school for the time I was in public high school. Freaking everybody played that out in the open. It's like you damn well you could tell by the people, like their skill levels on this. It's like, and it's like, they've been playing as long as you, but you could read almost, okay, I know for a fact you're playing Pokemon and you're just trying to act like this image of, I'm only playing this because you don't want to be called out as I'm this tall, lanky, going through the whole hormonal bullshit guy, sporting the Pokemon shirt, getting claims of, we're worried he's going to shoot up the school because I don't talk to people that I think are being stupid and I have nothing in common with. I'm selective about just wanting to get my shit done and getting the hell out of there, kind of thing.
Right.
It's like, come on, man.
Which is so weird because
shit, don't be afraid.
Which is
but
so
if I walked
weird
in there with, Metallica shirt, I was just like one of them. I'm like, come on now.
Because Pokemon went from being one of those like, oh, you're into kitty stuff to now it's everywhere and now everybody embraces it.
Yeah.
Part of the problem, I was just thinking about this, because Pokemon TCG was not super expensive, but it was on its way out. Let's be honest, it was on its way out. There wasn't that the kids picking and wanting to play it. There's a very small group of diehard. It was going like the way of Magi Nation, where it was like a few, like handfuls of diehard adults. Let's just call it what it is, adults that were buying and playing the game. Pokemon Go comes, kids are like, oh hey, it's this.
Everybody, no, not just kids. It was everyone. Pokemon Go was crazy.
But I'm aiming towards the kids are the ones that got hurt the worst by that. Is they're wanting the cars, but they're competing with the diehards that are still buying it, playing it. then you're
that
getting
game
these
sucked
people who are
too.
like the predators of the market are going, oh, there's this interest here, and look how cheap this is. I could actually make money on this.
Now,
Go
wasn't
sucks where I'm at because it's such a small town.
we need to swap trainer codes, Mark?
Yeah, right. I was
Um,
walking everywhere. It was cool walking, but yeah, it sucks here. This is
dude,
such a small town.
I play
Yeah.
every
I
day. We
wish my
gotta.
phone would the
uh,
phone I currently have would handle the Pokemon app. I literally outside my window, I shit you not, okay? I can sit in my bedroom and there is
Same.
a Pokemon stop I can just spin,
There's a
get the shit
gym.
Yeah.
from. I don't even have to make my guy walk because the way their stupid detection for my position is in my complex. There's another one.
Yeah,
My
I
guy
can't do
was
that.
randomly walk there, and I could tap that one too.
I have to
Before I
walk
like
like all the
realizes,
way
wait,
uptown.
he's supposed to be all the way over here. It's like,
Uh,
yeah, you're the dumbass that said I'm all the way over there. Not me.
I have a gym literally right outside my new place.
that's
So
crazy. Mine's so spread out. Like I have to walk all the way uptown just to get to a gym or a Pokestop. It's crazy.
that's what I'm
I
doing
have
for my
on
son's
that
account
game.
right now.
One of the things I really want to get back into that, hopefully, when I can finally get a new phone that can handle it, is this is special to me because I was with my sister and my brother. My brother loves Snorlax. That's like his guy. Zombie knows that. We passed an in and out. So I'm like handling her phone. My brother's like doing his phone. We're just hitting up like any encounters. We pass an in and out burger. This is okay. This is what was hilarious about this. I caught a fucking Snorlax at In and Out Burger, and I died. We all died because it was like, oh my god, he's getting his animal fries and 4x4s on at fucking In and Out Burger. It's like I was like I couldn't help it. That's the other thing is I made a point when she passed on her phone because the last one because part of her what made her motivated was we'd go out, we'd do the Pokemon hunting. We'd just get in the car, we would go, when she felt good,
cool.
we'd just go
Yeah.
drive around areas, like go to another town and just drive around finding all the little stops and stuff. The last Pokemon she got was a Dratini with me, and I made a point of getting that off her phone while we could still access her phone and put it on my Pokemon Go because, like, okay, yeah, I'm probably never going to evolve it, but it was the last Pokemon my sister caught, and I wanted it.
Yeah,
did I trade her anything good to an account I knew that was going? Fuck no, I didn't. It's like there's no point. There's nobody going to benefit from this. They're probably going to delete this account because it's going to be, never used.
Yeah.
Since you brought this up, Josh, I just now thought of that too. You mentioned that the Pokemon TCG was kind of out the door early on, and I remember a lot of people complaining about the early mechanics. That was why it wasn't a popular game to play, but to collect for. That's where the real hype was.
The thing is when Wizard was in charge, it's what a lot of people would refer to if you wanted to learn magic. It was Magic Light. It was Diet Magic.
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is people weren't later on. There wasn't people who were playing both like us. They were making that assumption. They were just I only know this as Pokemon. I didn't know it was kind of a modified version of this. And making that transition naturally, or having somebody take their hand and say, hey, you need to try this too. So it went stale. That's when they started doing that crap of there's now Pokemon abilities, there's VMAXs, there's X's. It's like we're trying to grab and add.
And this is why I asked, did the game shift from players to collectors? Because if there was a lot of animosity towards the system in itself, because again, I brought up how the Star Wars card game was so damn difficult for us to learn that we just said, nope, taking it back, can't learn this shit. I remember that now. I remember a lot of people complaining that the mechanics for the Pokemon TCG were so difficult that they don't even play it. They just collect for it. Whereas with Yu-Gi-Oh, easy to learn, difficult to master, cards here
it's
and
not
there.
easy to learn anymore, though.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Definitely at the
That's
time
the problem
was,
is that when they kept trying to do their retros and do like Pokemon where we're trying to add new things to keep it fresh, but
And
we're not
that's
balancing.
that's why I wanted to know, are card games marketing now to actual players or just to collectors?
They're just collectors right now.
Yeah,
It's
because as far as I
collector.
see, it's just the tournament scenes, like all the videos I see on YouTube where they're doing the tournament, stuff. Those seem like they're very serious players. But yeah, as far as like 90% of everybody else, I feel like they're just collecting.
What's the point of the 25th anniversary collector rare?
Yeah.
It's all a market grab. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, more nowadays you see more people coming out with card games, and they're not calling it trading card game. They're calling it collectible card game.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Because
true.
it's some of them realize, no, there's not the trade anymore. It's why am I going to trade my card when I could just go and buy the single?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you make friends. Like there's a whole social aspect.
That's the
to
element, though, is we're as a society with a lot of these generations that are coming after us. It's not necessarily I want to be social. It's I want to have this. It's an image. It's how I look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I guess you'd call them my second cousins because they're my eldest cousin from my deceased aunt's kids. I literally, okay, I don't understand this. I understand it, but I just don't get the mindset why you would do this. He straight, her son, my grandmother offered to buy him, an outfit for summer because he was getting out of school. And it's a thing she's always done, like every, her grandkids we get. She like to try to buy him like a shirt or something, It's not a school shirt. He wants this $100 shirt, okay, and wants her to pay for it, and she says no. This keeps going back and forth, and I finally ask, "What's the deal?" Because in my image, I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Right.
Yes, it's cool to have the name brand thing or whatever, but sometimes if somebody's willing to give you something, it's better to take it than nothing, right?
You're right.
Especially when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, as an adult, if somebody was just like, I will buy you a tablet for school, I'm not gonna sit there and go, it has to be Apple. It has to be,
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, what can you afford? Yeah, I really want this one. I'm gonna hope for this one, but I'm gonna make peace with what I can get. Right?
That's
like
why
in TCG. You want to build a deck, you needed to trade for something, or you just make do with what you had and just be glad you could play the game.
Yep.
That's not what's going on anymore. It's how do I be the biggest badass that can one shot everybody? How do I get God mode on the first turn?
Right.
Yep.
Because that's what it is about now. It's not about. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh as if I was playing a game of chess. I enjoyed who I was playing with, whether I knew them or not. And it was casual. Like we'd sit there and I draw one card and and I end my turn. It was like drinking tea and having like this little etiquette even. And it was only when I made a deck that I wanted to be tournament ready that I would say, all right, do you mind if I play you tournament level now just so I can see if this deck is flawed, what I can change out, that kind of thing. And my friends were real cool about that. They didn't take any loss, seriously, and I didn't take any loss seriously. Sometimes one of my friends would get a little too competitive. Then it's like, okay, now you're going to play me at tournament level and we're going to see if you're as badass as you think you are.
Then Zombie
even then,
went.
you can be as badass as you want. It's are you lucky,
Well,
motherfucker?
Zombie started glowing and went Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, I mean, long story short, I did this for my friend who I have two competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player friends. One has, passed away sadly, but he was the blind roommate that I taught how to play. And he would get real competitive, like, and I can't say I blame him. Nobody probably thinks a blind kid can play Yu-Gi-Oh, but we came up with a system.
Look, he was already coming up with a handicap he had to overcome.
Yeah,
he gets a pass.
And so he's playing my buddy. They're going back and forth. They're bantering one another, and somewhere like this, I'm gonna flip the table moment happens. They're just like really pissed,
The-
and I get thrown into it. You know, they're like, "Well, if you're so badass, play Jess at tournament level and see how good you are." And I'm like, "Whoa, this is between you guys, not me." You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
This
How
is
did I get roped into
you.
this?
This isn't about
so
me. This is about you. Bigfoot moment there.
I'm
How
like,
much money are you gonna pay me?
So
and I told my friend, I said, please reconsider. I don't want to do this, you know, because you're gonna hate me if I play you at tournament level. And sure as shit, I won 5 matches in under 20 minutes.
No, man. Yeah.
Like
And
I've had my moments.
my
It sucks when you're
my
trying to
other
let them win.
roommate is at his desktop, and he's like, "Didn't you guys just start?" And I was like,
No.
"Yeah," and I already won.
I
Like there
didn't
was no
Like,
glory in that.
unfortunately,
But
Yeah.
there's a lesson to be learned though, because going back to the tournament scene or playing with your friends, failure taught you something.
Mhm.
Whether it's something wrong with your deck or something maybe a strategy that just didn't quite work out, versus these meta decks where I just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah,
You know, you're not learning anything really,
Yeah.
except I didn't buy that super special card that so and so had.
super special,
I
awesome.
didn't have that free
Super special.
copies of the $30 card in my deck. I only
Right?
had
Right,
2.
right.
But you
Now,
learn to adapt. I mean, you should be able to learn
Yeah,
to adapt. You
because
don't need to
I
have a
was
special
thinking,
card.
You're
the
right.
start like the like super broken, Mewtwo strat you was talking about. Like, there's a counter to that where like if you have one that
Eventually,
Yeah.
well, no, I'm
eventually,
just saying
yeah,
it's like there are people that figure, and you just have to know what it is. But literally, like,
yeah.
stops you from playing like the EX one, so you
oh,
can't
dude,
play the powerful ones if you have this one. But
Yeah,
so they
you're
learn a strategy around that. Yeah.
but
Mhm.
that I know what you're talking about because there's a was a
Yeah.
little electric bird that keeps
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm
from
thinking
any
of.
damage from EX.
Yeah.
But that took like 6 or 7 sets to come out. So that
Yeah. It
meta
was
ran
later
through
on.
Pocket for a
Yeah.
while.
there was the fun
Yeah.
of it though. Is
So I guess they
back
knew
then
that
with
was
decks,
still broken. Yeah. Yeah.
it necessarily also luck was a huge factor. Before we had these abilities and all this other extra crap, it sometimes yes, you could have a deck that could control the board, but if you didn't draw it right or
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
There is
for
some
whatever
RNG
reason you
to it.
got,
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
screwed or whatever,
It's like
it didn't
partly
go off.
skill, but then
Right.
RNG. Yeah. So you
But
could just get bad luck with RNG.
that
Yeah.
goes back to what Zombie said though. You know, you had 5 pieces of Exodia in a 40 card deck. You don't have all this engine to just pull it out immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Each pull was a heart thump thrilling moment. Is it going to
Right.
be the
Right.
next piece, right? In
Yeah.
Pokemon, maybe your friend pulled the legendary Zapdos on you, right? Well, his
Right.
weakness is fighting. So guess what? I'm hoping I'm going to pull that next card that can do a lot of
Yeah.
damage to keep him from keeping that bird
The,
on the field. You know,
the,
there's excitement
Exactly.
to that.
yeah. The worst is when you don't even have like anything to pull out and you just automatically lose.
But then you learn from that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called
Yeah. Like
okay. This
nothing
strategy
to
in this
pull out.
deck I put
Yeah.
in didn't work this time.
Let me
I
go
should have
find
went with
Pokebill.
I should have
Nobody could win with
played this strategy, the other strategy I could have played. You learn from your mistakes and situations.
Hmm.
Joey. Your deck is filled with nothing but monster cards.
Well, like I was thinking of
Yeah.
like
The heart of the
Bastion
cards.
from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. He opens up his
Mm,
jacket. He has a deck for
yeah.
every situation, like just
Yeah.
Yes.
ready for you.
That's funny.
That's kind of how I am, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Although if I was to associate with anybody in that show, it'd probably be
Right.
Zane because I
Yeah.
love
Right.
my cyber dragons.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
They're
I've
cool.
But
got my
I,
Amazonas. That's all I
I
need.
I love the elemental heroes. They were cool. Yeah.
Vince, I'm hearing
That's
we need a
kind of sad
Yu-Gi-Oh
what happened to
episode.
them.
I
yeah,
love
Well,
them.
I mean,
totally.
you got. I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh, so I'd be like, I'll just like what I'll do is I'll start the episode and then just sit here and like let you guys
Uh,
take the reins and
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
Sorry.
Eating like a sandwich.
yeah, it's like, all right, everyone, I'm sitting there playing a video game. All right, guys, yeah.
He's gonna be Tristan. I'm just here for the food.
Or
Well,
all
here's
the
a
Pokemon
question.
My
people.
voice gives me super strength.
All the
Yes.
Pokemon people. I
Is
just love all
there
the
a
Pokemon
Pokemon
people
card?
watching. They're like, well, this is too much Yu-Gi-Oh talk.
I know.
All right, it's okay, it's fine.
So,
Yeah,
switching back onto the Pokemon.
It's all interconnected though, because
yeah, it is. Yeah,
we've even asked about,
yeah,
magic and how they're
yeah.
just reaching for properties, and when Vince was trying to get the Final Fantasy set, I even asked him, I said, do those cards have any utility? Like, are they going to be useful at all? Or is it just so I can say, oh, I've got Tifa as a magic card, you know?
Yeah.
Mostly Commander, to my understanding, is what a lot of these crossover sets
I want all
shine.
Tifas, so that's fine.
But
All of her.
Do they have a
Here's my
card of Aerith getting stabbed by a Sephiroth?
I don't think so.
I'd pay for
Okay.
that one.
I
That'd be
would
awesome.
too, and I call it Cloud's responsible.
Right, this
but no,
is your
fucking
fault.
Oh
It's
no,
all
no,
your
no!
fault.
When he's leaving her, when he's dropping her in the water, I would say Cloud's responsibility. He killed her, not
You couldn't have
Sephiroth.
buried her. You just decided to drop her in the water, and and they're like, "What did you weigh her down by to have her float into the water so deeply?"
Right?
Just in the description, this is all your fault.
I'll never let go.
okay.
Jeff.
What about in Advent Children Zombie, where when she makes her appearance in the movie, it's like, you're like the third person that's called me mom today. It's like, goddamn.
That's a whole other level of fandom that
Yeah,
like
yeah,
life
yeah, yeah.
Oh no,
is-
it's just one of those
I'm
things. I was
going
like,
this
I remember watching
way.
that movie and I was like, God damn, dude. When the hell did Eris just kind of, apparently being dead, decide to have a sense of humor and be like, I'm dead. You're somehow seeing me. Let's just talk some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole other can of worms there.
Yeah.
Also,
Right.
my favorite line from the Double Knot was freaking Barrett. That's some crazy water. Most throwaway random line that wasn't even in the original thing. I was just like, they put it in there because it was just funny. Like it was a part of a blooper reel. But going back to Pokemon,
We got
is
like
there-
10 minutes, so
Oh no.
yeah, that's what this is going to
Yes.
be. I figure this is a pretty easy question.
Yeah.
Is there a particular Pokemon that, doesn't have to be super rare or whatever, but you're like, I like this Pokemon. I'd like to have, you see his card that you've ever been sticker shocked by, where you're like, what the, and kind of curious why it's that price.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
I've never bought single cards, so I
Well,
can't.
no,
I
it's one
can't
of those
say.
things you've seen, or you've been morbidly curious, like for you and your son, you like see a cool picture of Kabutops, and you're like, I'm curious, about it, and you see how much it's going for. You're like, holy shit, kind of moment, right?
Honestly, for me though, it would have to be Birthday Pikachu.
Oh, really?
Because it is such an innocent looking picture,
That's a good one.
photo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or
it's
like
a
the one with the
rare.
balloons, where he has the balloons. That's good.
Right. But
Yeah.
back before they reprinted it, it was going for a lot of money, because you could only get it
Because he got he was a quick notorious ban because there was an impossible way to verify his thing that people could do with his attack. It was like breaking shit, because how are you going to verify the age of the user? You can just say, "Oh, it's my birthday," and
pull out your license.
Exactly. And if this is like a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old,
I need your birth certificate.
they might just have their school ID, and that's not going to tell you shit. That's not going to tell you their birthday. It's going to be like, oh, they're in the 5th grade. It's like, oh, okay. That didn't really help me at all.
I was thinking, like, as a kid, there was a mall we used to go to, and they would have the little, cases every now and then. It was very rare they did Pokemon, but, I saw it, and I'd be like, ooh, I need to look at these. But the only one I ever got, and I still got it, it was, I know Zombie appreciates this, I know he loves Gyarados, but it was, it still has the pre-release on it. But yeah, it was like a hollow, I want to say it was Team Rocket Gyarados, I think.
Nice.
Like the dark Gyarados, I think that's what it was. But yeah, I still have that. Yeah, it's the hollow, and it's like the pre-release stick or little stamp on it. And yeah, I think those were only like sold like as singles. Like that's the only way you could get those. Yeah.
Pre-releases tended to be could be like a promo, like if you played at a league and you got you did well and they gave you a pack.
Yeah.
That's usually a thing they would do, is they put pre-release on it so you couldn't easily get it confused with the regular version if they make a special promo variant.
I think that's like the rarest one, I think, the pre-release one, because it's harder to find than the other ones. From what I heard, I think, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm kind of proud to have
do you
that.
have a card?
Because I rarely buy singles, probably not. I mean, the
I'm
only
just
one
saying you saw a card, not that you purchased it. You were kind of sticker shocked that they were asking that kind of price. Is the question, guys. I never said anything about you owned it.
No, but you you said that, like, well, I don't know if you owned it, but you said that, like, if there was a Pokemon you wanted a card for and you saw the sticker
Yeah.
on it, like I don't really buy I don't buy like single cards, so
Yeah.
But
Or
back
when
then,
can't really-
I did think it was a little too expensive. I want to say it was like $20 or something, $20-$30 for that one
Okay,
card. Yeah,
so
so it was kind of pricey even
I
back
guess I
then.
should have led off with a better example here. Moonbreon.
That
I
I
don't
know that's
care. I love
$700?
a
Umbreon.
lot of people want that one.
I
What?
love
Hmm.
Umbreon.
$700 or whatever, or no, it's 15.
Yeah, it's a
1500.
card that keeps going up because
It's like the most sought after
so
one.
they
Yeah.
made it
Yeah.
like and put it in a set where the draw rate was impossible.
And it was an
Yeah.
alternate
Its art's not
rare.
all that great, but people want it so bad. I'm sorry, I'm not. I love Umbreon, but I've even then it's like I'm not gonna spend stupid money trying to get
Yeah,
that card.
that is a cool card, but
So-
I've rarely seen people get those unless it was like a god pack or something. Yeah.
So again, my whole it's being marketed now to collectors rather than the
Mhm.
And the
actual
players.
players.
And it's not even collectors, it's people that are wanting to collect it to resell later.
To resell
Mhm.
later.
Not
Hmm.
because they're passionate about it, because they want to have it in their collection, and because they enjoy the franchise and stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Well, no wonder I have a shirt that says thrash, because that's exactly how I feel right now.
Josh
Right.
views broken dreams on everybody in the room, apparently.
Pretty
That
accurate.
question just confused and then made everybody sad.
It's okay.
Oh yeah. No, it's a good question.
It was super effective. Critical hit.
Nah, I'm
Extra
feeling
damage.
I'm feeling the hunger pains of a munchlax right now.
No.
Well,
There is one question I've been thinking I wanted to ask y'all, because I know this probably happened to all of us. I always hear stories where, you're in school, you're a kid, when it stopped being popular, like, did y'all stop, like, because I always see that, some people that just stop playing it, but I've always loved it, 35 plus years later, I still love it. But did y'all have any of those situations where it wasn't cool anymore and y'all just got
No.
out of it? Or,
Not
No.
that it wasn't
I just naturally
cool.
went away.
Yeah.
nah.
It became, for me, it became exhausting
Hmm.
because you're trying to keep up with so much and you're not seeing much variety anymore.
Yeah,
Like
'cause-
I've been there since Red and Blue.
Yeah.
Then Gold and Silver comes out. They
I
added
want to say
cooler
Gen 2 was
mechanics.
when people started falling off of it, but Gen 2 is my favorite, so I didn't
For
fall off
me,
of it.
I don't
It
know, but
was-
I don't agree with that, because like the Gen 2, keep in mind, I was in high school when Gen 2 came out,
Nah.
as
Yeah.
far as like the gold and silver,
Uh-huh.
and it was still as hyped as it was.
Right.
And
I
I
know there
mean,
were some people that was like Gen 2, Gen 3 is when they stopped.
it may have
caring
been where
about it
you were
for
at,
20
Mark.
kids.
It may have been where you were at, but not where I was at.
Or just people I've heard, like I heard different stories from people. But yeah, I was just
Well,
curious about y'all. Yeah.
But I got out of the card game only because of the fact it was like I only had so much disposable income. Like
I know you said you got
I
stolen from, and that kind of got you out of it. Yeah.
well, that, but it was also
Yeah.
because like I stopped doing any kind of collecting trading card games at all, because I'd rather spend that money on toys and video games or movies.
Yep.
So
Right.
I just kind of got out of it. I didn't even get back into Magic until 2012, because I was like, man, I really want to play it, because my buddy Steven had got into it, and then I picked up a deck to play with him, and then I got my wife into it and we were playing. So it was fun to introduce her to Magic. I still haven't yet to introduce my son to Magic the Gathering. I've introduced Pokemon to him, but I just didn't have the money for it. It's not like I didn't have the money for it. I'd rather spend, because like, it was still like 100 to 120 bucks for a box back then.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember like getting like basic set. I even upped that's like Team Rocket. I think I only paid like 80 bucks for the box. It was cheap, really cheap for a booster box.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
it slowly started to change as things went on, and it's expensive now to try to get a booster box.
Yeah, you're going to
Mhm.
see a big gap in my collection because, I've been showing off my sets. When I went to college, it got to where, you can't afford all the things because you're, paying rent, car
Yeah.
repair or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Interest and resource divisions changed.
but I will say this: when I got married, I asked my wife that would you want to play this card game? So we went to Walmart and bought a pack or a thing that had two decks in it. Right, one was Mewtwo, and I think another one was like Star Raptor back when X and Y was just coming out.
Mm.
And we played each other. And when we played, I could see her enjoying it and my passion coming back for it because yes,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
in a way my funds
Yeah.
have changed once again. You know, I'm married now. I'm not the broke college kid. And
Mm.
so like I started collecting again. You know,
Mm.
so I
Yeah.
think ultimately money was the problem that stopped me, not
No.
lack of oh, this is not cool
Yeah.
anymore, I don't want to do
Yeah.
this, because I always try to support my fandoms, because even when Power Rangers, you know, we're big Power Ranger fans,
Yeah.
Oh,
even
yeah.
when people crapped on them, I'm still going to support them by watching the product, right? Like
Mm.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You're
Yep.
You're
right.
gonna pick and choose what parts of it you're gonna invest
Yeah.
in, as opposed to buying every single thing as it goes.
Yeah,
yeah
that was a
Mhm.
lot for me with the 3DS because I didn't own a 3DS, so I missed out on all those Pokemon games for 3DS because I didn't have a 3DS. I stopped playing after Black and White, so I didn't play Black 2, White 2. So those
I
were the
played.
last ones I stopped
See.
playing.
I still support Pokemon through the movies and the video
Yeah.
games. I
Yeah.
bought
Exactly.
every release and played it with my wife or played it with
Mm.
my siblings. So it was like, it was
Yeah.
something I still had a connection to it.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't collecting the TCG anymore, I still had outlets to
Yeah.
enjoy the fandom for it.
Yeah.
well
It,
uh, sorry, another thing, going back to the games, I kept up with all the games only because I was fearful of second market prices, at least
mm.
get one of them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That only really started happening like within the last, I mean, you could
When
still
retro
get,
got big, that's when it got
yeah,
like
because
a
like
problem.
Pokemon, you could still get like, well, even when retro was big, you could still get Pokemon games for cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
like
But
Gold
let
and
me ask you
Silver were
this.
cheap, Black and White were cheap. I remember like you could get GameStop was clearancing out Black and
Oh
White
yeah.
1 and 2 and the Ultra Sun. I remember walking into Walmart and getting Sun, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon there
Yeah,
for
Mm.
Yeah.
$20
but
because they
the
were
Mm.
other
just clearancing them out.
the other side of the problem is it real?
Mm.
Yeah. That's
That
true.
Well,
but
I've
the
never bought like secondhand as far as like Pokemon.
Mm.
the thing
I,
with the market was, and this is knowledge, is people started realizing, because we started getting a bigger pool. Like early on, we didn't have a lot of go here, get this special Pokemon you can only get from this event. It wasn't as
Right.
Yeah.
common. But once it was realized, like the DS line, that's where it really picked up. And then people realized, wait a minute, in the competitive scene, if I have these older games and we could still do the, trade over from all the way back to Game Boy practically up into this modern game, and have this Pokemon that I'm using strictly to breed into this super duper, steroid ridden Pikachu that knows a move all the way back from a previous gen that you can't normally catch in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what caused the price surge. Then part of, like I said, Go renewed a lot of
Go,
interest.
yeah, go. I think
mhm.
that was because that was the thing too, is like I don't remember a whole lot of reproductions for Pokemon in
Pokemon's
like,
always had them.
Yeah.
well,
They have,
yes, but like in the like
but it
if I
wasn't
went
prevalent.
to, it wasn't, yes, it wasn't prevalent because remember a lot of the game stores didn't sell reproductions at all. And it was like it wasn't until it became a big boom that it changed that, because you could still go to like GameStop or mom and pop shops or other places and find these games on the regular, and they were still inexpensive. It wasn't until the big boom that everything changed on that. And then that's
Yeah.
when you started really seeing the reproductions hit the scene.
I will say
Um,
one thing though. I noticed with TCG tie-in, home video and like the games themselves rarely ever had to rely like on a promo exclusive promo card. It wasn't like the reason go out of your way
Correct.
to buy those products. Like, what was the first movie? They had what I always called the butt ugly Mewtwo. And it came with, if you bought the VHS and the DVD back then, brand new. Then it was the trading card video game had a special Meowth.
Mm.
If anybody remembers that, or if I'm just really dating myself.
I remember getting that game, but I don't remember there being a trading
Yeah.
card in it.
There was a certain number of copies
And see,
when it first came out,
Mhm.
brand
I
new.
might
It
have
would
that.
say on the box comes with it comes with a Meowth.
Huh.
That Meowth
Huh.
is very, like, if you have the original box, you have that Meowth card, you can
Huh.
resell the American TCG Game Boy Color game for like stupid money with that Meowth, and it doesn't even have to be
Yeah.
graded.
Wow.
I don't know if I have that, but I know I had a lot of the movies. So yeah, I had a lot of the promo cards just because I got all the movies.
Mhm.
That's the thing, is a lot of the movies didn't have a promo card. I think it was like the only one I can remember having a promo card like on the home release was the first movie
Yeah.
with Mewtwo. But that was the thing to go see them in theaters, though, was
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get the chance to get a really pretty card. I remember my friend, we wanted to go multiple times to get, he really loved Articuno. That was like his favorite bird. He wanted to build an Articuno deck. So it was like my job, that my talent apparently was being that big card trader person. Like, I could get people to trade me crazy amounts of stuff with no regrets and all that. Like a used car salesman. So it's like, okay, my thing is I wanted that ancient Mew. That was what I was happy to get out of it.
Yep.
Like, birds
Ancient
were like a
Mew.
secondary thought to me.
Yeah.
But it's like every time, what killed me for like Yu-Gi-Oh games real quick was every game had like 3 promo cards. Like, okay, so
Yes.
are you trying
I
to
think
tell
I
me the
have.
video game's not that great, so we're trying to like distract you from it?
I still have like all the Yu-Gi-Oh promo cards that came out for the movie, like the
Mhm.
first Yu-Gi-Oh movie. Like I still have all those promo cards.
Those are cool.
Yeah, those are neat.
But yes, I got my, like I said, critical hit, and I've probably extended this way past 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just getting tired, guys. We need
Yeah.
to wrap up, and we can always go for another episode, definitely, because
Yeah.
there's other
Part
aspects to
3,
this
the
too.
anime.
The
Definitely more to
anime,
talk
the
feelings on
toy
that.
collecting,
Oh, man.
just the merch,
Right. Right.
the hype
So there we-
around it, all that stuff.
Right.
So this was the Cyndaquil episode, huh? If I remember my numbering right.
Right?
If I remember right, in the National Dex, 155 is Cyndaquil.
Which is my other favorite Pokemon.
But one thing I want to say though is because I got back into the games, like because I got into Pokemon Scarlet from just watching YouTubers, and I saw how much fun they had with it, and it made me retroactively like all the ones below that I missed out on. But because I got back into Pokemon, I saw this Pokemon YouTuber, I got into shiny hunting, I met other YouTubers through that YouTuber, I met all you guys in the chat of the YouTuber I met through them. So it's like because I got back into Pokemon games, I met all you guys. So. Like,
Yep.
I got Pokemon to thank for that.
I still recommend you play Arceus.
It's good.
I love Arceus. So
ZA
good.
ZA is like freaking, I want to say like Emerald for me. You played it and it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't need to come back to this. I've done
Still
everything
don't
I
have
want to
that.
do.
If I had a Switch 2, I get it, but yeah, I don't have that.
Big Jazzy.
Pokemon ZA is available on Legends
Yeah.
ZA was on Switch 1.
I just felt like it'd be so much better on the Switch 2. Yeah.
I think they might have ported that one. I'm not sure.
It is. It's just I've just learned it runs not as good because it's just better hardware, all that stuff.
On the Switch too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a Switch 2, so I can't verify that.
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing how we started at a certain time. I don't want to date it or time us, and we're 3 or 4 hours later, and I'm like, that shows the passion that we all have for this.
Right.
And it's always amazing to get to talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Anytime. I'm always looking down to talk about nerdy stuff. Have
Well,
conversations. It doesn't matter. Like this isn't about an ego for me. It's just having fun with friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we talk
because
about our plushie collection for
Yeah,
4 hours?
Right.
And
And
not
I
seem
miss
like weirdos with Pokemon plushies.
right.
the authenticity of everything that we talk about,
Yeah.
that's the root of these
Mhm.
episodes.
Yeah.
I'm not in everything, but I do enjoy the ones that I am, and I love
Yeah.
hearing the ones that I'm not in, because I like to learn about
Yeah.
what makes these things of interest to other people, even if they're not
Mhm.
one of mine.
But
Mm.
I missed the first time y'all talked about it, so I was happy to be on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Pokemon is no exception to that. And it's one of those fandoms where it doesn't seem to matter where you came into it or how you were introduced to it, because the
Right.
passion is still there.
Mhm.
And I still don't even remember. Like, I'm like, shit, was it the show I watched first? Was it the card game I watched first? Was it the
I
games I
think the
played first?
show
I
for
don't even
everybody
remember.
was kind of first,
Show
and then
was
it's
for
like, oh
me.
shit, they're making a
Because
making a
I
video
played the
game.
fuck out of the game. I collected the cards. I watched the fuck out of the show. I honestly don't remember which one was first. I had a Game Boy. I had the old blue version. That might have been
I
first. I don't
remember
even
mine.
remember.
I remember my order.
It's all one big blur because I loved all of
Yep.
it so much. Yeah.
I only remember that because I was at that stage. You go from elementary to like junior high, and you're like trying to find your niche and everything.
Mhm.
And I was like, I met my best friend, and we were like,
I just remember I
it's
had
cool to
to
be into the still. Let's do it. Fuck these guys. I'm like, okay,
I
I'm
had
along for the
to
ride.
Well, I mean,
I-
that's
I-
how I felt about everything. I didn't care what
yeah.
other people thought. I'm
Nope.
gonna like
Yeah.
what I like.
I'm
Yeah,
holding a
right.
plushie.
That was always me.
I'm gonna be a 45-year-old man. I'm
Yeah.
holding my my
You gotta
Totodile
sleep in
plushie. Like, I don't care.
Dude, I don't want to
Hey,
live
you
in
know
a
what?
world
As long
where
as the
man.
wife doesn't get jealous of you snuggling up against your Totodile.
Yeah,
Let's
Oh,
right,
she's
right.
done that. She's like, move, stop holding that Totodile. Just hold me. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I am.
I love the blaster.
She'll say it
I
right now.
have
She'll
another
say,
arm.
I gotta get
No, thank you.
we're all
You're not holding
No,
Totodile.
thank you.
That's why you have me.
I gotta
Put that
get
down.
I gotta get a screenshot of us all holding all the plushies to the camera. I gotta get that.
Yep, we got to get
Well,
all our
you're
boys
not
in
gonna see
here.
me, sir.
See if I can get it
Yeah.
in. I can get
Oh
it in the
wait, hold
shot.
on. You got Mewtwo. I
Hold
got
on.
Mew covered.
He has a
okay.
Mewtwo. I
Uh,
want a Mewtwo.
Uh-oh.
yeah. Anna's like, I want that Mewtwo. I want all this stuff.
I have
There we go.
Pikachu. Don't worry. I like the pumpkin one.
Bulbasaur.
Okay, there
The
we go. There we go.
Bulbasaur
Yeah.
with
Where's
the pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Bulbasaur?
Yeah.
That was
There
the
we go.
best. Then
What's
Bulbasaur,
funny
what I do
is,
with
second.
if I remember right, that's actually a bootleg he
Pikachu, I
found on
have one.
Amazon,
He's
and
got
he
a
There
got
he
me
goes.
one too because it's sick.
There we go.
So I want- yes,
Oh,
the
nice.
pumpkin.
Instead of a
that.
bulb, yeah.
Bring back
Oh,
my
let me
Mewtwo.
get.
There
Let me
is
get one.
a Valentine's Day one
Yeah,
that
it's
has a
pink
rose
and has a rose.
on
And
the back.
I have a little small Cyndaquil. He's in my son's room, but it's mine.
My Totodile's in my Pokenet up there.
Yep. Well, I have
Oh, look at that
I have the
Pikachu. I'm gonna have
original.
to get one to sleepy Pikachu.
I still have the original Pokédoll release from the Pokemon
said he was
Center,
third.
still of
What is
Eevee, Jolteon, Flareon, and
that?
Vaporeon. Those
I've
are the
got
ones
my
the freaking
Eevees.
mice didn't destroy. Bastard freaking rodents.
What's this one bringing? What's another one he got?
What Merc? Merc had he had Mewtwo.
Trying to get
What is? I'm
more in the
looking for
picture.
other
Let me
one.
see. You can see it. It's weird getting them on
Look,
the.
there's
on the
Sonic.
shot.
Oh, there's Squirtle. Oh, wait, he has. Is that Charmander?
Okay, I'll have to take a picture and
Yeah,
just send it
Charmander,
to you
yeah.
Oh, wait,
because
Go
yeah.
back. Let's see where's more. I want the Mewtwo.
Stark's back there going, excellent.
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 Trying to get dang screenshots. It won't even work there.
Well, at least she can't see my Marshadow or my
But yeah,
Japanese
and my little
freaking
niece,
lobby
so
car
cute.
plush.
my little niece got me this little knuckle as soon as we started the podcast.
His
She
little
just knocked on my door and
his little
gave
niece
it to
got
me.
that for him.
We've
I thought that
got
was,
Silver
was cute.
Pikachu.
What is
Chrome
there?
Chew.
What is that one?
Oh shit!
Silver
I
Chew,
forgot about
Silver Chew.
those.
Really?
yeah, that's
Silver
cool.
Chew.
The anniversary ones.
So cool.
And Josh, this should look familiar.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I sent
Yep.
that to little Zom.
Oh, he's so cute too.
Yeah.
Little
Jam.
Panjam.
I got
Yep.
one. Wait, are y'all still talking?
Yeah, we're still talking. We're about to end the episode. It doesn't
Yeah.
part of this will get cut. We'll get the part where we're holding stuff and then that's it.
Yeah.
All the caption needs to be Josh's plush.
That's funny.
Let me go back to my little
Yeah.
corner.
I'm the only
is
one
he
not
pulling up something
using-
else?
Not on screen holding a plushie.
Oh, the pumpkin
Hmm.
one.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right,
So,
everyone.
Here's a question,
Oh,
real
go ahead.
quick.
Mhm.
Did anybody during what was the last? I think it was either the 20th or the 25th. They did a special, the mythical Pokemon, and a special like Velveteen. I think it went with the Silver Pikachu.
Mm-mm.
You guys don't have any of those?
I don't think
Mm,
so.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so.
I'll have to dig those out of my hoard and like take a picture of the 3 I have. I have the Mew, I have Darkrai, and I have Genesect
Hmm.
Nice.
for those. Yeah, Josh apparently gets that really obscure Poke shit. Apparently,
See,
Yeah.
I
folks.
still like that. I confused when I sent a picture of the PokeNet. Zombie was like right on the money, and then he like doubted himself. I'm like, oh, this is gonna sting. When I said, "What's the rarest Poke flesh you can see?"
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I need a PokeNet.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks guys for being here. This was fun talking about the
Yep.
TCG, our memories and
awesome.
everything else, and talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, which I could always know about.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Because I
Magic the
Crystal
completely
magic.
and
my-
magic.
my son was
Yeah.
all, I mean, not my son, but my nephew was all into that. So, but yeah,
And
guys,
Final
Final Fantasy and Turtles and all that other trading card
Rice
games,
Wars, Digimon.
right?
There was
All
a few just
TCGs
dropped
are
out.
affected by this.
Yeah,
And
you're right. Just
nerdism.
change it
What
to
was
the
it?
card.
Magi Nation. Name dropped at one point.
Yeah.
Change it to the card game episode.
Right? Yeah, that's probably what I do. Yeah, hey everyone, welcome to that little podcast. We're going to talk. No, okay, we're not going to do that. We're not gonna do
It's
that again.
Pokemon TCG with some others.
Yeah.
Plus,
But no, it
Others.
was very fun. It was
if you're a
awesome.
nerd for this, you're a nerd for all these too.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Well, it
I
all
love that we love all that.
interconnects
Yeah.
because it's like
It does, yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh and all that came because they're like, oh, they're dominating a monster card market. We could participate in that too because Magic's should be their
We
competition, but they're an
can-
offshoot.
We
Yeah.
can market to collectors now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What did you do to that Mudkip? He's got that Free Willy fin going on. Have you kept him in captivity too long?
No.
Frequently.
He hasn't seen the female Mudkip yet.
Oh, God.
Not going in
He's
the
the
episode at
Mudkip
all.
that didn't make
Right.
didn't make the
Not
jump.
going
that
in the
out.
episode.
I'll be like, nope, power smack.
All right. Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Let us know down below your memories of the TCG for Pokemon and everything else we talked about. We'll catch you next episode. Peace.
Bye.
Later. Maniacal laugh here.